I believe I am good and live and happy and here and meh. It's gonna sound good. Cool. Hey, Captain. Predicted? Yeah. I'm fashionably late. 10 minutes, fashionably late time. That's how it works. Slightly, yeah. That's a good chin. The advanced chin is where it's at. You know, never forget about the advanced chin. Hold on. There he is. Look at him. He's a beautiful bitch. He's my favorite. Let's just shrink him down a little bit. Fit that head. Perfect. Beautiful. You're going into battle there, Kevin? Yeah! I see you got a shield there. You going into the war zone? Yeah! What you gonna do there? Sir! Serve the Emperor! I mean, it's Kevin, so it's more like someone like, yeah, I'm gonna get in there, dork. Gonna bash him with my shield. Or however the fuck he talked. He was voiced by a woman, so you know. I don't think I can do his voice that easily. Didn't even know that. Yeah. Yeah, no. Incredibly talented voice actor she is. Did a lot of I think I'm pretty sure I'm wrong about this, but I think she also did the voice for Tommy Pickles from Rugrats. I think, but again, I'm pretty sure I'm wrong on that one. Let's see. Yeah, Kathleen Barr. That's her name. Kathleen Barr. What? Yeah, what work did you do? What other work did you do? Battletoads? Holy shit. Oh, man. She was Bobby from Mega Man? The 1994 TV series, she was Bobby from Mega Man. Damn. Who'd she voice in Battletoads? Let me see. Rash / Dark Queen. Damn. That's crazy. God. She's got a very huge list. Like, she is very talented. I hate that Toad and Killer Instinct. Love him but hate him. Very fair. Very fair. Very fair. Okay, let's get Kevin off of the screen, and we'll go ahead and start up. Because it's been well over 3 minutes. It's been 5.5.
Wiggles. Wiggles.
She's like, okay, yeah, I'm coming. I'll clip that later. Go for it. I always keep him on my OBS just off screen for whenever I have to just drag him on. I should really utilize him more often. Because he is a joke that even... He's a joke that you can easily overuse and still be funny. I think the thing about him is, like, the best thing to go about using him for is, like, get him into a scene, but then don't acknowledge him. Just have him there. It's the best way of going about it. I'm pretty high over. Yeah, it's fine.
Right.
Right. Right, so Lantry. Lantry has a beautiful 217 now. Now we need some Animal Crossing shit with Kevin. Speaking of Animal Crossing, I gotta hit up Desi. Hold on, I'm gonna tell Desi I love them real fast. They deserve it. They deserve it. Desi, I love you. There we go. Okay. Done and done. Now let's look into this. Oh god. Oh man, this is so great. I could have it bounce. That is very... Or no, hold on. Yeah, no, this is bounce. Yeah. Bounces 2 times to a range of 5 meters. I'm down. Accuracy plus 60. We don't need that. We don't need accuracy. $20, $40, $50. That's interesting. 20. Huh. Well, that's an idea. Instead of that, we could go with that. You know, make it so it's more damage, because this is the one that knocks them prone. I don't know if it procs several times. If it procs several times, then it's going to be a lot more worthwhile to have the bouncing bolts, because then it'll be hit, bounce, hit, bounce, hit. And with each one of those, there's another save or be knocked prone. So, you know. Like a bouncing Betty. Fucking Betty. I still fear bouncing Bettys from Call of Duty World at War. The most terrifying rendition of bouncing Bettys. Length really doesn't matter. I guess we'll just increase strength. 6.8. Yeah, I'm down. What does this thing do? Ah, it makes it so on weapon. Okay. Adds a thing on weapon crate. So it's like a double buff. A double buff. There we go. Update that. Let's see, what do I want to do with you? Can increase the time. Always nice. Can make it so it bounces. Can make it bounce some more. We could stagger them for 3 seconds, which I think with this spell is very appropriate. What else do I got? Sure, we'll go with that. Medal of Honor, Rising Sun. God damn. Never stuck to any World War II game ever since. Nah, that's fair. That is very fair. Nah, World War II games are just... I mean, you know, that was like the interesting times. You know, it was like, oh hey, you know, fucking you guys storm the beach of Normandy and watch as everything goes to hell. It's like, oh shit. You know, one of the worst wars of all time. And I think the thing about it is that it's based off of actual, you know, actual shit that went down. You know, like, you can't make that shit up because it happened. I think a lot of the issues with current day war games, you know, like modern Call of Duty games and whatnot, is that a lot of their stuff is, you know, it's made up, it's written, and it's dumb. What was it? The worst Call of Duty of all time was like Call of Duty Ghosts. I remember playing the first like 3 missions of that, and I just could not do it because I thought it was so stupid that they were like, yeah, Brazil invaded the space station, and I think it was supposed to be a futuristic or, you know, it's a game that was happening in the future, but that still makes no goddamn sense. Like, you know, at least Modern Warfare, you know, 1, 2, and 3, they, at least near the end, they went like, oh, you know, well, you guys have fought off the Russians, the Germans, probably the Chinese at some point. You know, we'll make America the bad guys for once. I think that made it actually a lot more interesting to have just one instance of like, yeah, you're fighting America. It's like, oh yeah, it's awesome. This one's a not, or yeah, this one is Daze. It also has the Bleeding Affliction. We'll make it so it bounces, and sure, we'll just reduce its cooldown as well. There we go. 210. Just make everything bounce. Why not? Just make everything bounce. Can we make it so it's a double fireball that split or that bounces? I don't know if that will work, but I want to give it a go. I really want to give it a go. This one, yeah. Reduced recovery time, whatever. Radius of 5 meters, absolutely, that is the thing I want. Ooh, and we can increase its damage as well. Perfect. This one, make it bounce. Make it bounce! There we go. And then this is Ball Lightning. Can make it bleed. That's an option. Armor penetration. Let's give it an interrupt. I don't have very many that do interruptions. Hold on. I can up the damage. There we go. Beautiful! Marvelous! I remember what the fuck I was supposed to be doing. Hold on. Yes. I go over here. Yo, what's up, Austin Dwaggy? How you doing today? What have you been up to? By the way, Dick Merrill, any one of your D&D games used an Echo Knight? No, no one has used an Echo Knight yet. Actually, for this week, what I have been up to has been creating an adventure. I mean, I've talked about this. I've been creating an adventure for Arcadum's Discord so that I can become a GM there. I can become a living world GM of Verum. You know, and officially have some role to play in Arcadum's world, which I think would be cool. How do you feel about using World Anvil? Well, that's the thing. I really don't have to. It's more so the players that have to use World Anvil, not myself. And even then, I have not run the game yet. I am just in a write-up phase, and basically, my plan is to have it done by tomorrow, have one of the GMs, the training GMs, look at look at it, and then edit it and have it done fully done on Sunday, and then run the hopefully run the game next week. So you know, it'll be a good time. Okay, so apparently I didn't have to come over here. I guess I... Arf? Oh gosh, that was just the world map. I wasn't in the traveling thingy. Over here we go. 15 minutes. Shit good. Is World Anvil good? I don't know. Again, I haven't had to use it yet. So we'll see how it is. Yeah, so what's up, Dwaggy? What have you been up to? I'm very curious about that name. I want to know about it. Playing Borderlands with your friends? Chill. Yeah, no, yesterday's Borderland was an anomaly for me. I almost never play Borderlands. But I'm playing some Tyranny now. Just about to do Fink Slider thing. Nice. I'm curious, when it comes to Borderlands, do you think Borderlands is hard or tedious? Because I find Borderlands tedious. It's like, but I think that's because it has a very lax punishment system. It's not a game about punishing you for, you know, for failing. It's just like a, oh shit, well, you died. It's easy when you have friends and good guns. Honestly, I think it's easier without friends. I think it's easier to go at it alone. Just because they're scaling based on how many people are in the game. You know, so a level 9 enemy is still a danger to like 4 level 11s, but not at all to a single level 11. That's what I've noticed about the game, but, you know. But, you know, yeah, if you have good guns, it doesn't matter. Jacobs for the win. The quiet preparations have been set. Are you ready to perform the ritual that will extract Khan's energy? Joining us is not a critical component, but I believe you would facilitate our focus. I would also like you to do us the honor of executing the final rite. After extracting his energy, we will have only a short time in which to use it to permanently destroy the land. Now let's begin. Excellent. In that case, I will signal for the ritual fallowing to commence. The disfavored lieutenant clears his throat and edges away from the cliff. I'll just take a step back for this one. He taps his staff once, twice, thrice on the ground. Let the land hear our cries. He continues, and Earthshakers gather, slowly chanting around him. Let the land shudder and tremble. Let the land swallow Khan's legacy and choke on the power forevermore. Archon of Stone, we beseech you. We gathered beseech you. Interesting way of doing that. We who believe, let us now follow this land as is fitting for your grave dirt. Haven't touched it since. That's fair. Again, I kind of want to go back and play through the first one since it's been so long. I really liked the first one. It's just, you know, it's definitely, I mean, no, it's not dated. It's just slow paced. And because it's slow paced, it's hard to get through. Whereas the second game is a lot more fast paced. Sir, the Scarlet Corps are upon us. They've breached the perimeter. Oh, you Graven glory. Graven's glory. Radix scrubs a hand down his visor. Sweat beads in the gaps of his armor. Rouse the guild and defend the compound. Do not allow the Scarlet Corps to interrupt the ritual, no matter the cost. Understood? He glances quickly to his brother. Cadus, The disfavored officer unsheathes his sword with gusto. He clings heavily as he stomps forward. Me and my shields are on it! With a respectful nod, he rushes past you, eager for battle and already shouting for his soldiers. Radix affixes you with a stony, set expression. Fatebinder, we need you as well. If the chorus defeats us here, the disfavored odds in this war are all but doomed. Do not let them halt the ritual. Fatebinder, this is the utmost importance. Do you understand? Do not let them shatter the Azurelith loads. If they dislodge one of the focal staves, it's imperative you re-embed. Okay. You re-embed it into the hole immediately. Else the charge, and thus the entire ritual, could become unstable. Yeah, no, I got this. That's fine. Let's go get them. Let's go,
Yes.
punch some people.
Your death awaits!
Oh, look at that guy over there. Do you guys think there should be more games like Borderlands, but set in, like, different... with, like, completely different settings? Like, I would love a, like, fantasy-styled Borderlands. I think that would be fun. You know, I don't know what they would do for, like, swords and shit. And I swear to God, if anyone says, oh, you know, just do Diablo, I will kick you, because Diablo is boring.
Such a simple task.
Oh, goodness. That did a lot of damage. Okay, pretty good. Good start. Very good start.
I must.
Yes! There is several saves! Yes! Oh, man, they're fucked. Personally, couldn't give a rat's ass about the idea. I don't know. I think it could be fun. Oh, man, these guys are fucked. Oh, now you guys are getting involved. We didn't need their help.
Admit that from the record.
Fatebinder, you cannot let the chorus halt the ritual. We've already siphoned too much telluric energy from Can. If the geotriadic resonance of the Azurelith loads becomes disarrayed, the resulting backlash could kill Can, and with him, our ability to ever blight this realm. Quickly, you must re-embed the focal staff into the Azurelith load to realign the spectral grid. Hey? Yeah, sure. God, that was a fucking mouthful is what that was. Hold on. Did I send out the message that I was streaming? I don't think I did. Oh, goodness gracious. No, I did. Okay. Whew. Okay. I was very scared for a moment. I was like, oh no! Oh. The Beastmen have also shown themselves. Fools. Honestly, Lantry's got this. He knows what he's doing. But just in case. Oh man. This is
I'm
great.
right.
I like how these guys are focused on us. Like, we could stop them and completely ignoring this guy. Fools. Foolish fools. And now you shall be slain.
Do I really need to?
Oh, so much damage. Because with two people, that double fireball hits, bounces back. And there's a splash with every fireball. It's beautiful. Realigned. Oh, come on, guys. Come on. Man, they can't hold against one little assault. I'm so ashamed to be allied with them. This dude managed to, you know, live. You fools, stop running in front. Are we good? I think we're good. Okay. Fuck him up. That is basically a guaranteed knock prone. It is so delicious. Sword fireball. Now we'll daze them. Alright, that does double projectile as well. That's beautiful. This game is beautiful. I like the magic system. It's the best part. I swear to God, if Cadus dies... oh, Radix is also here. There's no way Cadus will die. Go help them out.
Take care.
Oh no, he's... someone's coming.
At once.
Fireball on... yeah, sure, fireball on 2 of them. Oh, 3 of them. Worth it. Seriously, there's no reason for me to play my character anymore. These... like, Lantry is just such a lore master that there's no reason for me to play my character anymore. He does so much damage. Oh my god. Ah! That dude exploded.
I got it.
That's some frayed purple cloth. How valuable. Allow me to float! With the Archon of Stone's last shuddering breath, the Earthshakers expel the whole of his life force mixed with his arcane energy, now warped and twisted and thrust deep into the heart of the realm, a poisonous strike to forever rend the land. The edict breaks with an audible clap, and your stomach lurches from a sense of sudden weightlessness, combined with an acrid tang in the back of your throat, an aftertaste of the rot that now infuses the land. It's done! The edict is no more, and we didn't blow up all of Terratus in the process. Lucky us! Not only did we hurry the death of one of the greatest powers the Tears have ever seen, we destroyed the land as well. When you put your mind to something, Fatebinder, you don't hold anything back, do you? The fall of an Archon and the death knell of the chorus. This is a rare day, and I'm honored to stand at the center of it and the glory of Ash. Beric strikes a salute and bows. Of course he does. The wording of the edict pounds through your skull with the sort of clarity that usually comes from days of practice and repetition. It would seem that the Edict of Stone is now part of you. A word, Fatebinder. Lantry takes you aside, patting your shoulder. I wondered if you might entertain a quick question. Go ahead, Lantry. Wonderful. He dips his quill and starts writing on a sheet of vellum, focusing on you all the while. You've broken a number of Kairos' edicts at this point, which is not a claim that many could make. How do you feel about what you've accomplished? Spare me no detail, please. This is for posterity. Anything that strikes you about the experience is invaluable to the Chronicle. Breaking an edict means I have fulfilled Kairos' will. I'm bringing order to the Tears, one realm at a time. So, this is truly the course you've chosen. Then Tunon was wise to claim you as the court's own. You are a true standard bearer to Kairos, most austere sense of order. Nodding slowly, Lantry writes a furious series of notes. One last question for now. How do you feel, physically and mentally, I mean? I ask because there's very little precedent on the matter, and you should define the symptoms and reactions for history as a whole. An arcane feat on this scale doesn't happen every day. A little dizzy, but otherwise fine. Dizziness, eh? Lantry taps his quill thoughtfully. Could be due to the mental effort, or something else. Unconcerned, he shakes his head. You look fine to me. If you feel any different over time, I hope you'll let me know. I think I have what I need for now. Future readers of the Chronicle, thank you for your time and introspection. Lantry stops his writing and smiles. I love Lantry. He's such an awesome person. Okay, Radix, what's up? Fatebinder, you couldn't have been more instrumental to our cause. We were able to successfully extract Can's energy and blight the land for the next millennia to come. Suffice to say, the General will be pleased. So we basically set off a nuclear bomb, right? Lantry is a good dude. How would Murdoch feel? The age-old question, how would Murdoch feel? The Scarlet Chorus will know the price of fighting us when their bellies are empty and they find themselves too weak to stand. I wonder how many gangs will turn cannibal. His tone is shrewd and assessing when he next speaks. And it would appear you personally benefited from breaking the Edict of Stone, though to what end, even I cannot fathom. I dare say our time together has proven somewhat symbiotic, if not wholly beneficial to you, Fatebinder. He taps his heel against a crumbling rock in thought. Can is now deceased, though there yet remains a tinge of power within him to be harvested. Should you have use for it, consider a sign of my favorable appraisal. Could that be a generous gesture from the Iron Core himself? Must have taken some resolve not to drain every last drop, Commander. Yes, and as I am sure you are aware, resolve is not an area in which I am lacking. Spell plague soon. Not your gratitude. I'll harvest a piece of the Archon and inform Ash that we have successfully stuck a definitive blow against the cores. Well, let's go eat some can. You can detect subtle vibrations in 6 points along Archon's body. The last expression of his diminishing life force. This doesn't... Take right hand fragment. Extract a large piece of the right hand. Removing his vital elements will cause the remainder of Karen's essence to dissipate. His heart fragment. I'm down to take his heart. Wait, hold on. Is the fragment going... The fragments... That's left hand. That's arm. That's right hand. That's his eye. That's his head. And that's his heart. Heart probably goes hand in hand with vitality. We'll do it. You did good, Can. You did good. Form. +2 vitality. Yeah! I was right. Look at that 413 health. 413. Beautiful. +10% will defense. Will defense. That's magic defense. That's will defense. Poison protection's so much better. Yeah, I don't care about any of that. I don't care. All right. This one has an awesome ability to it, which is why I was wearing it. I remember now. Cool. We did a great thing today. This thing's almost fully filled up. So close. Honestly, I should just get rid of these. Yeah, they're heavy. I'll just get rid of them. I got all these goodies. Okay. Believe we're good to go. Back to Graven Ash, right? Oh, Landry likes me. Wheel of Ages. Yep. To Graven Ash we go. Heart strong enough to make an erection explode? God damn. Well, you know, it did come from a person that was as hard as rock, so you know. Guess you're not wrong. Let's see if there's anything good to be had at the Ocean Spire real fast. You know, like anything at one of the shops or something. Oh yeah, I can also ask him to research something. A sigil scroll. Sure. Oh, they're still busy researching something. Never mind. Oh, good. It's you. She doesn't look pleased at all. You know, I'm starting to think the voices was right about you. You never mind, but never mind that. Here for training? Sure. Except not. Oh, Lantry's got a few more points. Hold on. Back to this tower. Because there's a person that teaches lore here. I don't think we got, or no, we managed to train him up to the 150. I think. I want to double check though, because it's been a little bit. You're not the trainer. Yep. We got him the full 150. I could increase his control life. Make him a little bit better at healing, but in all honesty, I feel as though that would be a waste. Let's see. Honestly, his force, well, yeah, sure. We'll just give him some trained fire, so his double fireball that bounces is overpowered as shit. Have you messed with the AI voice synthesis shit for different people and characters? How do you mean? What you talking about? Control fire, sure. SpongeBob saying, oh, well. No, I don't know how. You haven't shown me yet. Well, shit. Yeah. Well, you know. I mean, you know, if it's a, you know, it is what it is. Their research has finished. Right as I got here, too. I guess I'm gonna have to go back over there, so it is what it is. Run, you sluts. Glorious memes that arrive from that shit. Good. I presume most of it in Chris Fox's chat. Fatebinder. I felt something indescribable pass through me just before your arrival. Emotions of great rage and pain, followed by a moment of lingering sorrow. I suspect that something has been lost, and Teratis herself strains at the absence. Ash winces and rubs his brow. I understand that both of the spires jutting up from the ruins of Azure are now under your control. It would seem that impossible feats are no mystery to the likes of you. Impressive for Tunon's minions. Or minion. Hey, not this time. Oh. Do not allow yourself to be swept up by the esteem and glory of this achievement. Were you a soldier of mine, I would temper your pride with modesty. The disfavored and Earthshakers were triumphant. Have managed to destroy Cairn. Cairn is dead, Ash. Oh. Oh, whoops. The Archon of Stone. Fallen. Ash turns his gaze out to Ironheart, settling it on nothing. I thank you, Fatebinder. This was a long time coming. Cairn's betrayal was inexcusable, and a death sentence from a lawful hand is no more or less than he deserved. What's more, you are to be commended for resolving an edict of Kairos and putting down an Archon at once. He pulls on the end of his beard and frowns. You don't sound too pleased about this. I do not always find war pleasing, especially in these dark days. When it is thrust upon me and former allies show their true colors, at times I want nothing more than to see home again. But even home has its memories. I would never have called the Archon of Stone a friend. Cairn was a difficult man to know, taciturn and removed, keeping to himself as often as not. But we had much in common. When you are an Archon, that is quality you learn to cherish in others. So no, I am not pleased. I make no secret of it. I am sorrowful and cruel. Even though the Archon needed to die, that does not stop me from wishing it were otherwise. Gonna put this in. Oh boy. Let me just get a sneak peek of this. Frank Sinatra sings the Navy SEALs copy pasta. Oh god, okay, well that's gonna be a fun one. On to the next order of business. What happens to the Scarlet Course from here? The crops grown for our enemies will have withered on the vine. By now the Archon's forces are clutching their stomachs and tightening their belts as we starve them out. Ash stands tall and beams at the thought. A fair reward for more than fair service to the Legion. Ash nods with gratitude and hands you a heavy hammer wrapped in cloth. The Earthshakers and Forgebound conceived of this, and I can think of no wielder more deserving than you, Fatebinder. What's up, bitch? Fatebinder! Breathless, the officer snaps to attention. No time for pleasantries or ceremony. Your spire is under attack. The Scarlet Corps have ramped up their offensive, and they mean to topple your stronghold. With you atop it, if need be. I feared something like this might happen. An act of desperation from the voices of Nerat. He's either too much of a coward to attack for Ironhearth, or his forces are too weak. Either way, you'll need to answer this threat with blood. You carried out your task with distinction. Well done. My thanks, Fatebinder. Best of luck at your spire. Oh, you know, so it's my problem. You know, that's basically what happened. The Archon looked at me and went, I mean, that sounds like a you problem. Dear Fatebinder Murdoch, you ended an edict, and now you have ended an Archon. I know none of this had such expectations for when the Adjudicator initially brought you among us. So many surprises in so short a span. You fascinate. While he lived, Cairn has a singular being, a titanic man born of the womb of Taratus herself to hear some tell of it. While none still living can provide account to that birth, you bore witness to his demise. Indeed, you precipitated it. I ask that you indulge my scholar's curiosity. What passed between you and the Archon of Stone in those final moments? Did the ground tear itself asunder as a widow rends her garments? Did the mountains groan a panegyric to this champion? Were there any final words from Cairn, spoken or inscribed? Does the crystal that reportedly protrudes from the cliff face throughout azure still glimmer, or has it darkened? I watch eagerly for your bird, Fatebinder Rogalis. And not spare Cairn. Fatebinder Rogalis, how does one depict the death throes of a nation? In the Edict of Stone, Kairos consigned Cairn to his doom, but in their ritual, the Earthshakers spread that execution across the entire region. The life drained from the soil even as it faded from Cairn's eyes. One could verily feel the stone trying to leech my own life from me, as if I'd eaten stale bread when I already thirsted for a flagon. We marked this place, and it may never recover. Nah. Okay, yeah, we'll do it. Off we go. Hi, Kiwi. How's it going? Happened to you again? What did? I spent from like 2 a.m. to 6 a.m. talking to someone who took my opinions and flushed them hard. Oh, damn, that sucks. Well, I'm sorry that happened. May I ask what the conversation was on? Watch on Citadel and Vendrian's Well. It would be Vendrian's Well. Very well. Let's go stop this. Oh, whoops. I should have... I meant to go get different research, but oh well. It is what it is. It's too late now. So, if there's one thing that I have noticed... Hey, Firekiller, how's it going? If there's one thing that I've noticed in the LGBT community is that if you are not lesbian or gay, then you are actually on a different spectrum. Like, there's a lot of disfavor in the LGBT plus community towards bi and asexual people for different reasons. For bi people, it's because of this whole premise of like, oh, you know, you can be with someone of the opposite sex. Non-binary is what I am. Bi isn't as much. Yeah. Yeah, whereas with asexual, a lot of the times it's, oh, you know, like, you just, So with the asexual one, it's actually, it's a weird one. I have seen the same argument that comes from, you know, like straight people, where it's like, oh, you know, you just haven't found the right person. You know, you just haven't found someone that you want to have sex with. Which, you know, that's a thing. And I don't know how to rationalize that. You know, that's an entire deal. But, you know, anyways, the LGBT community is very accepting, but it also still has a lot of work that it needs to do before it can be a completely unified thing. You know, because it was it was seen as a completely unified thing when it came to them working for their rights for marriage. But now it is, you know, now there's not as much at stake. As much. Don't like the interaction. That's fair. Nah, I mean, you know, as far as I'm concerned, when it comes to your, you know, sex, gender, whatever, it's a personal matter. It literally does not affect me, and therefore I have no reason to really go looking at it. Kiwi's Kiwi, goddammit. Yeah, sure. Exactly. Greetings. Oh yeah, it's Arenos. Greetings, Fatebinder. The Iron Guard salutes you with a clattering salute. Our oathbound scouts alerted us to a chorus assault on your spire, and Lord Ash insisted we send aid at once. I've assembled a A massive sculpture rumbles, shaking the masonry of the spire, and sending her off balance. Hey, stop that. Okay. This is kind of creepy. I hear a Puppo. Yeah, Nunu was barking at the door. Wiggles was also clawing at my pants. I got that reference, Kiwi. The orb in the center of the resonator spins with the push of some unseen force. Where the structure once exuded warmth, now it gives off a ferocious heat that singes your face the longer you stare into it. Do we have the power of the sun right next to us? Is this what Sunny D is made out of? A sound like music warms in the air around the structure, but it's painful and disharmonious to your ears. Well, this is shit. Siren has to shout over the disharmonious Well, this is shit. You'd think a spire would know some better songs, but I guess there's no accounting for taste. She refocuses on you with a mixed expression. You do realize that the energies of this place are all centered on you. I don't know what makes you so special. The spire is now fully awake. Its long dormant currents of energy dance to your presence. Crouching to the ground to steady herself, Aurenia stays low to the ground until the trembling subsides. Feels like something is shaking the spire. The chorus can't pull off that sort of magic. What in Kairos' name is going on? It actually means sunny delight. But the commercials say taste the power of the sun. Oh, okay. Kiwi, I thought you were making a Yu-Gi-Oh! The Abridged reference. Because there's that moment where... Oh, no, it's said differently. It's like a bunch of board members in a dark room, and they're like, let's all stand up at the same time. Excellent. That was the quote. I remember now. As the ruler of this spire, I have a mystic link to this place. Give me a moment, I'll get to the bottom of this. I don't suppose this magical spire of yours has some warding magic or something of that ilk? She points down toward the chorus troops amassing below. Unshakable courage and superior training will only take us so far against that lodge of force. The spire resonates my voice. I'll shout to the valley that I have an edict from Kairos that should get them running. Considering the average intelligence and cunning of our foe, I think such a feint would at least thin the crowd. Well, let's go lie. The mystic hum of the spire pulses to the cadence of your heart. The ancient structure awaits your commands. Please pick up your Popo. Well, Wiggles is now in a good spot. Nunu's under the desk. Hey, Nunu. She's not big in it. Get up into my lap. So I'm gonna leave it be for now. Well, you know, she'll want up in her own time. Kiwi's feeling better now, thank you. You are welcome. Nunu will jump into my lap before long, Fire Killer. You know, it's fine. There's still so much that doesn't make sense. Perhaps your allegiance to Graven Ash is shaping you in some fashion. You have established some sort of mystic link with the spire. Now, I'm no expert on magic, but I can't help but liken it to the General's mystic link to me and the rest of his warriors. They are ripples with heat and the spire hums. Spires hum. A low chanting of your name echoes through your head. You're just saying that to keep me here for more views. I mean, you know. I just try not to force my dogs to do things. Nunu, do you want up? You want up? Come on. Come on, up. Come on. Jump up. Jump up. Come here. Up, up. Do you want up? She's like, there we go. Managed to get her. I managed to get the Nunus. I had to bend over for her. Oh. Nunu is love. Nunu is love. The spires and the tears are linked. Just how far does this connection go? As soon as your mind finishes the intent of your question, you lose sense of your feet, and your vision expands to the spires on the horizon. Which as far as you can. Now Wiggles is... you guys have drawn the attention of Wiggles. As you would command your arms to extend, you think outward, your mind feeling cognizant of the verticality of the spire. You follow this sensation down to the soil, and your sensation stretches underground, radiating through the Vendrian's valley and branching out to the old walls that ring the mountains. And from there, out to the surrounding old walls and spires of the Tears. You issue a soft hum into the resonator and then fall silent, stretching your senses across the Tears to hear how far your voice can be felt. While your voice echoes throughout most of the Tears, no echo can be heard in the contested lands. The raging crackle of Kairos' edict of fire seems to drown out your call. The power of the edict swells inside of you, yet your voice is but a whimper everywhere. Kairos' edicts still hold sway. But where Kairos' edicts no longer churn, your voice echoes with power. Should you will it, the spire will resonate your voice across these lands, enacting a new edict of your own making. Judging from the distant look on your face, I'd say the spire sent you a vision. What do you make of it? Ooh, this is gonna be fun. Okay, Wiggles his head off, and Nunu has jumped down below again. The spire can't seem to reach where Kairos' edicts will churn, but otherwise I think this spire can reach out anywhere in the Tears. I'm in awe of your capacity to speak with architecture, but how does this help us here and now, with an army coming at us? The air ripples with heat and the spires hum. A low chanting of your name echoes throughout your head. I'm not sure who's actually in control here. Is the spire enhancing my powers, or am I feeling the power of the spire? Your mind drifts to bygone days and past events. Along with a rush of memories you know as your own comes a surge of images, voices, and pangs of joy and sadness, either long forgotten or remembered by someone else. The cloying weight of granite over your head, the pressing slabs of gneiss against your chest. These memories of Can now live in your mind, as does the recipe of his undoing. Pinpricks of electricity spark behind your eyeballs, and the slightest breath infills your lungs with a rush of moist air. You move to brush rust and bronze dust from your skin, only to realize the sensation is just a phantom itch of the blade grave. They say only the Overlord can create an edict. It has never been clear if the Overlord can destroy an edict. And when an edict is resolved, what becomes of the colossal quantities of mystic energy bound into said edict? The moment you uttered that question, I could see your attention wander off. Do the spires share anything enlightening? The edicts you've encountered crowd into your immediate memory. Whatever splinter or fragments of the edicts you helped to resolve have taken root, flowing into your mind as intuitive understanding. Keep giving those sweet live updates on what the dogs are doing. Nunu is looking at me right now through her bangs. She's now traveling under the desk. She is probably going to jump up here in a moment. At least more than half the people in here are here for the dogs. I see. I'm just their caretaker. That's what's up. Do you think there's a stream out there that just streams like a like, I don't know, a puppy daycare or something? I can see that being a thing. Kairos' edicts make sense to me. The spire can amplify my voice and my power. I'm confident this will work. But only the Overlord has the power of the edict. Yara Marshall shakes her head with a sigh. But I am a woman of swordplay and tactics, not magic. If what you say is true, perhaps it is Kairos' will that you can do this. The sensation of power that was at first a pressure in your lungs now surges with each beat of your heart. All of the tears look upon the spires and think of you. Their fear, their admiration, their terror. With the spire, all of this can be harnessed and used to your purposes. The edicts you've encountered crowd into your immediate memory. Whatever splinter or fragments of the edicts you helped to resolve have taken... Okay. There's something else I'm curious about. My link to the spire is confounding. Why me? I lay claim to Ascension Hall. You hear your own voice echo in your mind. Let us be free of this edict. Your mind flashes back to the assault on Ascension Hall, to the moment you fulfilled the wording of Kairos' edict. Nunu is now in my lap. She's now laying in my lap. She is just enjoying the fan. Sensations of searing heat and chilling cold course through your body as you relive the weightless moment when the edict broke. The fateful instance when the levy vanished and the arcane currents of Kairos' magic were set free. It was in this moment that the spire's old sigil of awakening, long covered by its prior occupants, was set ablaze by the arcane tempest. The spire knows the first moment it found you, and so now you know this too. But whether the meeting was by accident or design is unknown to both of you. I can see you standing here, but your face looks like it's leagues away. What are you sensing? Enough navel gazing. I know what I need to do. As you touch the stone structure, your sense of the moment slows and you feel the entirety of the tears at your fingertips. The spire stands nearby to channel your will. Oh. Oh. So I have the power of either the Edict of Stone or the Edict of Storms. Oh, shit. Nah, being mentally ready for a relationship is the most important part of the relationship. Generate a massive storm that covers huge areas of the world. Chaotic energy unleashed will cause random damage to strike your enemies during combat. Okay. Slow petrification of the living. I like the Edict of Storms. That was my favorite one. Oh, it also increases shock damage. Hold on. More control lightning with less control fire. As this one is minus 15 on all magic skills, but plus 30 to control stone and plus 20 defense against prone attacks. Whereas enemies will also have the weakened thing. Weakened Bane? So Bane will be weakened in this area or something. Plus 30 control stone, plus 20% prone duration. Interesting. I mean, we do have an ability that just really fucks people up with knocking them prone. Sure, we'll do it. Drop the conversation. That sounds... I hope this person isn't a friend Kiwi. Because that's some rude-ass behavior. What's in Graven Ash's name? Our Marshal turns about, taking in the view in all directions. But Kairos didn't give an edict to read, so how did... Having broken the edict, I seem to be able to recreate it, if in a limited fashion. You did that? Her hand grasps her for her chest, but only Kairos can cast an edict. I assure you, that was my own magic at work. The chorus have no idea what they've just walked into. The Armed Marshal smashes her gauntlets together with a quiet chuckle. Binder, let us strike now. We must seize the moment and swing their panic into a rout. Hoisting her blade in hand, Irenaeus moves toward the exit. Fatebinder, I will get the carnage started. Join me when you are ready, and we'll deal with whatever rabble remain. Yeah, I'm down. He's not gonna tolerate toxic horse shit. Good. Cause yeah, that shit's not cool. It sounds like toxic horse shit, yeah.
Right.
Planning to buy something or just waste my time, boss? What's this? Titan's Knuckle. +1 might. Nope. What else do I got? I guess these. There you go. Is there like is there anything else? I don't think there is. Oh, hey. Some potions. I like potions. I like liver. Meow mix, please deliver. Oh, it's storage. That's crazy. I didn't realize this game had storage. And here we are. Ooh. Yeah, I'd fucking leave. A gang of bewildered Scarlet Chorus trails behind Death Knell, a mixture of awe and confusion resting upon their faces. Did you eat Can's heart and become the Archon of Stone or something? What manner of... Her words falter as a tremor sets her off balance. How is this possible? She looks back at the hundreds of choirmen fleeing in every direction. I don't need those cowards. Even with a fraction of our strength, we'll surround you and grind you into nothing. She turns on to her soldiers and lets out a primal howl, her warriors echoing the battle cry in dissonant tones. I wonder which of you will scream the longest before dying. Nervous glances are exchanged between many of the warriors gathering in the courtyard. Sensing the dip in morale, Deathnell looks back with a scowl. We have the advantage of numbers. Don't be spineless! Her shouts do nothing to assuage their fears. Enough talk. You'll be trampled and forgotten. Only the voices of Nerat will remember your name. Fools. I have Lantry on my team. Do you know what that means for you? It means you gonna die. Oh no, Lantry's been feared. That's not good. Please, Lantry, get a hold on yourself. We're only winning barely without you. Go ahead and heal up Eric. Get him back, make sure he doesn't die, please. Okay. I don't know, do the double electric jolt.
Grovel before me!
Good start. False pit. Drop them prone. Always nice.
Are you afraid of death?
That works. Oh, there's people up there I didn't even realize. Lantry can heal again. Go ahead and do that. Fireball, I guess? Sure.
Let the land shut and strangle.
God, that's so fucking cool.
Consider it done.
Now they shall be torn apart by magical swirling rocks. Magic missile! This right here, it's a magic missile. Muffled laughter comes from under Arrhenius' great helm. That's great, you filthy peasants. Run for your lives. Tell Nerat what you saw here. We've broken them. The tremors of your Edict of Stone have sent ripples of terror through the chorus, triggering a rout. The only choirmen with the nerve to fight us tried their best. She slams her blade into the twitching body of a nearby choirman. But their best is irrelevant. Leave the cleanup to me and my brethren. You should take your rightful place perched atop the spire. No better way to savor this victory than with a commanding view of your enemy fleeing across the valley. Hell yeah. Oh, well, would you look at that? It's a Crimson Greatspear that's gonna get sold.
I got it.
It's so slow. It's the strongest of... God, can you imagine that? A magic missile that'll just keep following until it hits you, but extremely slow. Shocked and demoralized by your display of power and the ease with which you dispatch their leader, the Scarlet Chorus fighters lose their nerve and scatter in defeat. The survivors carry with them fearful murmurs of powerful Archon Murdoch, a being of enormous might who can cast an edict with the same authority as the Overlord. Ooh boy. Confusion sets in across the realm. Amid the whispers and misinformation, one fact remains consistent. The Overlord's power has been challenged. You safely assume that such rumors are making their way back to Kairos. Powerful earthquakes roll underfoot, the vibrations wringing your spire like a wet rag, threatening to send it crashing to the ground. Your stronghold slowly settles, the terrain only occasionally rocked by a solid tremor. Over the next few days, the land eventually returns to normal as your edict dissipates. You gather a small council of your closest allies and plan your next step from the safety of your spire. No sooner do you get started than Callio, Fatebinder of Tunon, pays a visit bearing an important message. Oh boy. We're gonna get a meeting with Tunon, and he's gonna be like, "That was bitchin'. That was pretty cool." Fatebinder Callio. I keep hearing about this little spire you've been calling your own. Nodding with a smirk, Fatebinder Callio peers over the edge of the tower. Now that you've slaughtered those who would take your lands, I think your claim is as official as it gets. Let me guess, you're here to investigate what just happened. Naturally, she nods with a smile. Tunon expects me to give a full report, but today I come bearing an important message. Not an edict, but commandments from the mouth of the Overlord all the same. No one's entirely sure what to make of you these days, Murdoch. They all say you spoke an edict of stone, not a proclamation of an edict of Kairos, but your own edict of stone. Your own arcane tremors. You're no mere Fatebinder, of that much we can be certain. You've proclaimed and broken the Overlord's edicts perhaps one too many times. If I had known you could do this when I first met you, I'd maybe have tried in earnest to kill you. I hope for the sake of Taratus that the right person has inherited this gift. I don't know what to make of you, Fatebinder. Proclaiming and breaking the Overlord's magic. Claiming these awful towers. It should come as no surprise that an edict is within your grasp, but I still find room for surprise. You're powerful in ways that gang bosses and mages aren't. You commanded this place to do your bidding and unleash something incredible on the world. That isn't the work of a Fatebinder. If anything, it's the work of an Archon.
Beast woman who will follow Alpha from here to End of Tears lands and farther still. Will Pawpaw prowl deep into cold north, hunting armies of Kairos at Alpha's side. Together, Shadowhunter and Alpha will slaughter whole of Prima's tribe.
Love it, Duke. Good. I don't have any idea how you're able to do this, but it isn't power that any scholar can wield. This is something else. You're not some ambitious hedge mage who learned it out of a book. You're more like an Archon, where it just comes naturally. She shakes her head with a grin. I always knew you'd be a delightful bit of trouble, but I didn't think you had a touch of the Overlord's power in you. Why didn't you tell me? I'm still not sure this power's entirely my own, or what it all means. It means that you're strong, dummy. Stronger than any gang boss in the tiers, any officer in the Legion. Maybe stronger than... I don't even know. Consider Kairos had a first edict, one of Storm's, I believe, and there weren't always long recitations to go with those early edicts. I will assure you, Kairos had to learn to walk before running, just like you. Hey, because fuck you. Sorry. Sorry, I didn't see your thing, Huey. I'm sorry. Because fuck you, that's why. That's troubling. I was sure hoping you'd be at least as informed of your talent as you are capable of invoking it. If you're careless, you could cause untold harm with your power. Curious. She taps her chin in thought, looking at you head to toe. Suppose you've no reason to play the fool. I'll say that however it is you came into this power, know that you've drawn the attention of the Overlord. So, congratulations, I think. Oh, 8 wasn't an option? Oh, okay. I come bearing orders directed from the Overlord. Calio clears her throat, her voice becoming somber and severe. Kairos has decreed 2 things. First, the Overlord has demanded that one and only one Archon is fit to rule the Tiers. To that end, the Archons are to settle through death or dominance who is the one Archon fit to inherit the Tiers. So the Overlord wants even more civil war? Oh, it gets better than that. With a smile, she tosses a small bit of metal your way, and when it's in your hands, you recognize it as a small brooch in the style of Kairos' insignia. Kairos has decreed you on the newest Archon. Fatebinder Calio bows with exaggerated flourish. So the other Archons now have orders to control or destroy you, and the other way around. Her face becomes a beaming smile. See, this is why I try to avoid getting Kairos' attention. And to be clear, this is a command from Kairos, but not an edict. Correct. There's no edict backing this order. She smiles a toothy grin. Such encouragement hardly seems necessary when the task is its own reward. The Overlord has merely rescinded Kairos' peace. The Archons may kill and maim each other without breaking any laws. Kairos knows rightly so that enmities new and old will drive the Archons to mutual destruction. The Overlord need only remove the pretense of peace and watch the ensuing violence. Calio shrugs with a smile. Would you have preferred another do-or-die edict? Of the court, have you heard what Tunon and Blade and Mark think of this? As per usual, Tunon has the emotional range of Pumice, but Blade and Mark seemed almost giddy. I think the old Shadow is already putting names on his daggers. I was wondering if Blade and Mark would hear the orders and promptly stab Tunon. But no, it would seem the Archon of Shadow is happy to serve Tunon. Makes sense. I've never known the old Shadow to crave that kind of power. She clears her throat, her voice growing somber. You'll have to deal with them too, and I fear greatly for how that will turn out. I imagine Tunon is too loyal to bow to you, and Bleeding Mark too proud to accept you as his better. She nods quietly for a long moment. There's no way this ends well for some of us. Pimison. A light porous glassy lava used in solid form as an abrasive and powdered form as a polish and abrasive. Transitive verb. To clean, polish, to smooth with pumice. To polish, rub, or otherwise treat with pumice stone. Especially in silver plating, to clear the pumice and water as the surface of an article to be plated. I have a close alliance with Graven Ash. This order will complicate things, to say the least. Keep in mind, the order is that all must submit to one Archon or die. So you and Ash won't necessarily have to come to blows, but not sure how you'll convince him to bow to you. Thank you for delivering the message. That will be all. First step to deciding you won't bow to one of the other Archons is deciding you won't bow to. Callio offers a smug nod. I wish you the best of luck in your upcoming struggle. Know that when you come for Bleed and Mark and Tunon, I and the other Fatebinders won't interfere. Let's get one thing clear. I want no part of this little contest. Fatebinder, sorry, Archon, I bow to you. The rest of you madmen can fight over the right to rule this mountainous shithole. Just like that? Just like that. I've better things to do with my time than throw it away in some pissing match. You all have fun trying to prove who is more powerful. I already know. The question me and the other binders have been asking, can you do this again? Nernoval believes in you. Another, who shall remain nameless, takes the more cynical stance that the Overlord has a hand so far up your ass she can puppet your mouth, and you couldn't cast a second edict if you tried. She sizes you up head to toe. Me, I think you have it in you. Or at least I like the idea of proclaiming an edict of yours someday. I have something in mind for the voices of Nerat. We'll issue an edict upon cacophony in the Stone Sea. Oh, the tears are about to get a lot more interesting with that attitude. Callio nods with a satisfied grin, rubbing her belly. I can taste their lamentations already. With a nod, Callio begins to make her way to the exit. When you rule Terratus, look me up. If you're successful, I know I'll be in need of a new Archon to serve. I know I'm mostly sober, but just so we're clear, you did just issue an edict, right? Lantry taps his quill to his tongue, unsure of what next to write. First you cast an edict, then hit this full-on war of Archons. This whole chapter of the Chronicle it's reading like fiction. So, Kairos has ordered all the Archons to fight it out until only the strongest remain? I think we can now safely say that the Scarlet Corps' philosophy has been vindicated. A rumbling mutter stirs from under Barrick's helmet, devoid of any cogent words.
Alpha birthed only words of power like humans prima called Kairos. Is better mystic than broodmothers to kills in shadow, then Stonewalker's 100 blood, then Beastwoman Archon slaughtered by Mark of Shadows.
She snorts and grins savagely.
Kills in shadow knew Alpha was more powerful human in whole of Tearsland.
A curved claw taps the side of her snout.
Knows was not wrong.
One last thing. Hesitating before she leaves, Callio taps the parchment she's been holding to her forehead with her self-deprecating scoff. All this talk of you being the second coming of the Overlord, I almost forgot my duties. This is a court summons from Bleed and Mark, Tunon's assassin. I suggest you read it carefully as part of your preparations. Your survival may depend on it. Good luck, Archon. Fatebinder, Archon, the great general, has pulled his troops back to Iron Hearth. She grinds her knuckles into her palm. Soon we make our final push into the Stone Sea, in the heart of the Scarlet Chorus's power. The voices of Nerat is weak, and the path of cacophony is clear. She adopts a more cautious tone. The Archon is also aware of what happened at Venturin's Well. I'm sure he wants to discuss the matter in person. I'll head to Ironhall straight away. I'll stay here and keep the peace in Venturin's Well. She hesitates, considering whether to say more. Finally, she sighs and lets it go. Take care how you treat with Graven Ash. You're no mere Fatebinder any longer. You'll meet with him as Archon to Archon, and such things are more complicated. Good luck. Cool. Wait, hold on. I thought Serum was just gonna up and leave.
On it.
I guess not. I was like, okay, that's fine. I'll just replace you with Ed, but I guess she's still here, so you know. Whatever. I don't know. Let's just give you some quickness. Let's see, let's see. Barracks Clash of Iron. Bolsters. Yeah, sure. We'll do that one. What you got? Increasing experience gain for magic and subterfuge skills. And more spell slots. Wait, hold on. What's this? Oh yeah, no, that's fine. I don't know. Sure, we'll give you some of the more randomized ones. I want this combo of like acid rain. It's what Ev's Duke who wants to laminate women. Things have gotten a lot more interesting with this game. That they have. We are nearing the end. For certain. First things first, let's stop by here. Duke plays Spire. I do play Spire. Me play Spire real good. Okay. Oh yeah, right. I remember why I came here. What you got? Deathbringer. The sages. Deathbringer. Well, that goes into there. This can go onto you, Lantry. New Spire Forge plan available. Deathbringer can be created. Oh, okay. Let's learn. Sigil Scroll? Yeah. Let's learn. Okay. Now to Iron Hearth. Let us speak to the great general so that he may give us a big old bear hug. I'm sure he'll accept us as one of his own.
Right.
Oh, hey, I have a missive. I will ask you once, Bleed and Mark. Good. I take it you're aware of the Overlord's latest decree. If not, let me give it to you straight. Now's a bad time to be an Archon in the tiers, since most likely I'll be the one to cut you down. I thought I'd first explain it's not my choice, but if it was, I would still choose to kill you. See you soon? Blade and Mark, Archon of Shadows in Court Blade. Blade and Mark, if I'm to die by your hand, I would prefer it be in battle, face to face. Or would that be face to shadow? Regardless, at the risk of depriving you of the thrill of a good ambush, I would ask that we meet in person, as peers, drawing blades openly. If that is what it is to come to. If that is what it is to come to. God damn. If it is as is what? On the reverse of this parchment, I've mapped for you a location in the wilderness. Let us meet and settle things there. I'll provide you 2 days to scout the location in advance should you require. Hope to see you there. Murdoch. Maybe. My dearest Mark, I must sincerely thank you for the forward warning. Please know that I have indeed taken your words to heart, and, as such, returned the following in reply. Certainly I would not expect you to follow me without first testing my mettle. If we must slay each other, so be it. I respect your prowess, and I will stand my ground if a duel is what you desire. But I would ask that you consider instead pledging your blade to me, rather than aiming it for my throat. Does Kairos' decree insist that we kill each other, or merely that one should best the other? Warm regards, Murdoch. We'll arrange a meeting. Yeah, because the other option is to taunt him. Mark, I'm sorry, who are you again? Oh, right, that creepy guy who stares at people from the shadows. If you want to say hello, just come talk to me already. I should thank Kairos, as the Overlord has finally unburdened me of the need to treat you like anything more than what you are. A sad little sociopath who will soon be gasping for his last breath at the end of my weapon. Did your predilection for children turn even the cast metal stomach of the chorus? I've often wondered what crime Tunon must have on you to keep you on such short a leash. Of course, short leashes are ideal if the servant lives only to lick his master's feet. Sharpen your blade, freak, I'm coming for you. Because let's face it, you can't come for me before you're ordered to, can you? God damn. If he drank too much, yeah, that's what I was thinking. Yeah, we'll just arrange a meeting. Alcon's in from Tunon. From Fatebinder Rogalis. Fatebinder Murdoch. Unless I'm mistaken, I'm very rarely mistaken, I detect in your words remorse, empathy. Though an admirable trait, it is wasted on the undeserving. One profits from fretting over the fates of the seditious no more than one profits from concern for the pain suffered by the murderer consigned to the headman's axe. Kairos has branded greater lands than Azure with the lingering effects of edicts. We celebrate such destruction no more than we celebrate a verdict of guilt. They are no more and no less than the currency by which we purchase order and peace. Thank you for your response and your continued service, Fatebinder Rogalis. Fatebinder Rogalis. Ooh. I got all of these question marks. Cool, we're good. So I can issue an edict on different areas.
We find ourselves
Oh, there
at
you
an
are.
impasse. You are no Fatebinder to be shrugged off, dispatched, or underestimated. No, that time is over. You are an Archon.
I'm something, all right.
Do not make light of what you've done. Between claiming powers beyond your ken and proclaiming an edict, I no longer know what to think of you.
That reminds me of the owner of the Yawning Portal. Yeah.
Time will tell if I am willing to tolerate your presence in this realm. Time and a final deed to prove your fealty. The voices of Nerat must be executed. With his destruction, his leaderless mob will disperse throughout the tiers from which they came, and we will be free to subjugate this lawless realm. I expect nothing less than your report that the Archon of Secrets has been dealt with. Dismissed.
I will return when the Archon Secrets is no more. Cool. It was just like, I don't trust you, but here's an order. It's like, okay, whatever. Again, I made the proclamation when I first started this that I'm with the disfavored through and through. That's all there is to it. They ain't bad people. I don't trust you, but sure, okay. Yeah, basically. Now, we could issue an edict on the place. That is an option. We could issue an edict. I don't know why I came up here. I think I can actually, proclaim the edict just from the menu. Let me check. Kid, if I haven't said it before, I'll say it now. I'm going to enjoy killing you. Oh, I'd love to carve your heart out and feed it to the darkness in a remote spot in a shaded world. Unlike you, I'm not dumb enough to act on a whim. Can't wait for the adjudicator's execution order. I'll be anticipating your arrival at the court. Don't snuff the lights. Bleeding Mark, Archon of Shadows, and Court Blade. I really like Bleeding Mark. Of course, part of it is just because of the stupid voice I gave him. It makes me happy. So I can't choose the bastard city. I see. Well, shall we conjoin the horrible effects that are happening on the Stone Sea? Go ahead and do an Edict of Storms as well. Enemy effects minus 40% move speed, minus 20, or sorry, plus 20% recovery time, minus 10 dodge and 10 parry. Let's do it. I don't think I can... Was there an option to construct a new edict? I didn't see. You gave it to Lantry? Oh. No, that was... I don't think... I think that was a weapon. I'm pretty sure that was a weapon. Sigil of Pride magic. We can make some gay magic now? Accent that causes material force and guarded form spells to now only affect you, but become more powerful and last longer. Yeah, it's just a weapon. Honestly, they aren't all that, like... They aren't all that impressive. But, we can come over here and see what stuff they have available. God damn. Hopefully I can speak. Available. There we go. I'll take it. Oh, cool. Yeah, sure, give me that. Yeah, hold on. Yeah, Deathbringer. Either as a one-handed or two-handed axe, one of the two. Scythe of Years. Damage all enemies in a cone, ignoring their armor. All helpful effects on the target are removed. Damage scales with Deathbringer's renown. Oh, that's cool. yeah. I mean, they're just gloves. I guess I could go ahead and make these and give them to Lantry. You know, just for the sake of having it. Sure. What you got? Sage's robes. Exquisite. I feel no fucks given. Select a weapon or armor in your inventory to upgrade. Can I upgrade this? No? Okay, so Masterwork is where it ends. Okay. Oh. Upgrade time 5 hours. 8 ooh, yeah. Sure, I'll do it. Only for me, though. Well, hold on. I can upgrade Barrick's stuff? What? So what, do we just, like, kind of tink it further onto his skin or something? How does this work? Well, there we go. I got, like, no iron left, but... Hey, Barrick's got some actual, you know, slowly developing stronger armor. So much protection from Pearson Frost. This guy's a man-turned Warforged. I mean, basically. Ah, I should have upgraded. Oh, wait, I can. Because it's made of bronze. Yeah. Hold on, what was... Oh, yeah, because it's the Azure Shield. Yeah. Grant bonus to quickness is its whole deal. Ash's Finery. I mean, I don't much care about this. Man, that Tenderizer, though. I am very tempted to upgrade that Dundare Tenderizer. I think we're good. God damn, I'm such a fucking behemoth. I'm so goddamn big. Oh yeah. Nah, you're good. You got a really good sword. I could upgrade Lantry's stuff. Good. I don't know, the mages don't really get into any trouble. I think we're good.
I got it.
Yeah. I'm happy with how things have turned out. I can train with you. I feel no reason to train with you. I don't care. Praxis, master of smelting. Esteemed Fatebinder Murdoch, with so many hours spent in the forge, we artisans are a bit prone to gossip. Needless to say, the Fatebinder of the Mountain Spire has been the subject of many a conversation while working the bellows. He fidgets with his hammer anxiously for a moment before lowering his voice. If I may be so bold, I have a question for you. Ask away. Praxis' eyes light up with the same intensity of the forge behind him. From where does Kairos' power truly stem? Is it from the magic of edicts? Is it from archons, or perhaps from the loyal subjects and their toil? I'd argue the commoners of the world are the source of Kairos' power. It is their collective submission that legitimizes Kairos' rule. Yes, one's power is often measured by how great we perceive their power. Praxis quietly nods to himself for a moment, almost forgetting you were ever there. My apologies for indulging myself in the philosophical. Is there anything I can do for you? Just want to see what you... Oh, it's just a couple of ingots, okay. Guy makes like jack shit. What do you got? Nothing? God. Useless. Just want to see what you have for sale. I don't care about anything you gotta say. I just want to see what you got for sale. And it's nothing! Let's leave. Let's go kill that one guy. Why are we put here when this one's clearly closer? Whatever. It's fine. Could do a little bit of training over here, but meh. Yeah, whatever. It's fine. Let's go fuck up the Archon of Secrets. It'll be fun. It'll be funny. We'll laugh. Like, really hard. We're gonna, like, twist his neck until another mask is facing forward. He won't like that. Oh my goodness, look at all these enemies on the map. Look at all of them enemies. There's like 5, 10, like 20 enemies. Whatever will I do?
You have no hope.
Lantry, destroy them. Oh, okay. Oh, okay. I don't even know what happened there. Fall, you fools! Fall! I didn't even reach. What a shame.
This is useless. I should try something else.
Archon Secrets gets his secrets revealed. He's actually a white Anglo-Saxon who refuses to admit to his anti-Semitic views that he openly states in secret. Ah, we should have known. Literally, they stand no chance. I feel so bad for them.
Send me your champion!
Oh, just start exploding them.
Break you!
Oh man. Oh man, they're not ready for this. Oh god. His spells just keep doing like over 100 damage. It's delicious. Okay, now use electricity. Now use the slower electricity.
Can't do that.
Oh no, it missed. No. And there it goes, off into the distance. Goodbye. It disappeared when my cam was over it, but it would have been awesome if it followed the laws of physics as though we were in space and it just goes on forever until it hits something.
You have no hope.
Lantry, destroy. Oh, did some of them... Oh, they managed to not get knocked prone. That's crazy. Oh, wait, no, that was the Daze one. Sorry, let me use the right one. There we go.
I'll take care of it. See you when you die.
They don't stand a chance. It's slaughter. Like, we aren't breaking a sweat. Remember when there were times where I was like, oh, hey, it might be beneficial for us to rest. You know, I would always go like, I mean, you know, we can go another fight. I kind of wish I spent more rest just because, like, now there's no need for them. There's no need to rest. Anything over here? Ooh, there's a box.
Nothing I can't handle.
Blood-soaked mantle, frenzy. Oh, okay.
You have no hope.
Fuck him up. That's concussive. Let's do it. False bait, come on.
At once.
Are you afraid of
I'd be amazed if we use that and somebody did not fall prone. It's so unlikely. It is so unlikely for someone to not fall prone after that.
I'll take care of it.
Oh man, Barrick almost died there.
This is useless. I should try something else.
There you go, you're good. Right, because Barrick fights on for a while even after he would have died. I forgot about that ability. Oh man, he's injured now. What? Now he's only down for he's down from 406 HP, actually 366. That is a pretty big amount. Oh, do these remove wounds? They do. Okay, we'll just
I cannot.
Ah, you can't use it. Okay. It's probably... I can't imagine that there's not an item that you can use to remove wounds. It seems silly if there wasn't. Yeah, because those have to be poured onto someone else. You know. Remove one random hostile effect? Maybe. Whatever. Just got done with Fink's Slaughterhouse. How'd it go? Did you win? Oh, hey, we can rest here. Thank goodness. Actually, false bit them. Knock him prone. Always gotta start with the knock prone. I don't know. You know,
Right.
even with a number of viewers, they have no obligation to speak. Scraps of food and cloth litter the floor of the tent. Nice. You went through, have 5 rounds on wave 4. I was by myself, then I died on wave 4. Then we retired it, and we won. Dude, that is awesome. That is awesome as fuck. Did you get any good loot out of it? Oh, retried. Okay. I read retired, but it's still processed as retried in my mind, so you know. It's what it is. I recognize you. Does Brooklyn have riots now? Hey, look, it's the voices of Nerat. What's up, dork?
Your campaign ends here, maggot of unreason. We have no intention of joining the uncounted corpses littered in your path.
Hold on. Just, give me a moment. Dork? Okay, that's all. I would love to make that a thing. If I can figure out how to make it so you can have, like, the points do an alert, I would love to do that, but I think I would need, like, Streamlabs OBS, and I freaking hate it. I hate it. Got shit tons of money, but no gear I could use. I wish I got assault rifles. Assault rifles are... I feel as though assault rifles are, like, one of the weaker weapons in Borderlands 2. Like, I come across so many submachine guns or, you know, like, shotguns that are just a better option. I'm using Commando. Now, you need the assault rifle. Well, you don't need it, but I highly recommend you need the assault rifle.
For all the fealty to the disfavored, has the Archon of War ever set you above his northern inbreds? No. He would have sacrificed you 10 times over to save some brain-dead grunt from stubbing his toe. We could have been magnificent together. But instead, we will have your bones fashioned into a scepter, your skin knotted into a belt, and your tongue fed to crows. At least crows know the meaning of respect and gratitude.
You talk too much, Archon of Flatulence.
We love a good verbal sparring, but the time for obscenity is past. Fatebinder of reeking discharge.
Got the assault rifle boost? Yeah, then you need the assault rifles.
Attend to us, darlings! There is more than one way to skin a Fatebinder, and we will show you as many as possible.
Voices of... What's up, Archon of Dorks?
Come! Gather around and watch us destroy the Fatebinder.
Is it just gonna be me, or do I still have Lantry? Because, you know...
To battle!
Oh, wonderful. He doesn't stand a chance.
We are just
What the
getting
fuck?
started.
Kill it. Fucking kill it.
I'll do it right away.
Oh, it has a lot of no, it doesn't have a lot of magic defense. It's just... So, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Your assault rifle does decent damage, but still. Could always do better.
Sorry, can't do that.
Barrick, you're dying. Leave.
I'll admit that. From the record.
What if we can knock him prone?
Impudent
Nope.
wretch! We dare you!
That's me. Eric's the one that's getting fucked up. Let's go ahead and heal him up now. Ooh, some good old paralysis and poison going on. This is great. Sunder. Mark. What all do I got? There's Sun's Rage. And we'll just get Barrack onto that guy. Go ahead and summon for me, because I like having extra min. I was hoping doing the Slaughterhouse would give me at least good assault rifle. I mean, the game is completely randomized loot, barring quests. So unless you know of a quest that gives you a really good assault rifle, it's really just a matter of luck. And, you know, farming. Oh, goodness, League.
Perhaps a change of tactics is in order.
Oh no, he's turned giant again. Oh, perfect. He's gone into the fuck zone. Where spells can bounce.
Heal your flesh. The mind will follow.
We got him bleeding. Double lightning. Lightning bolt! Did that reflect? Oh no, I don't think so. Sure, we'll do flesh to stone.
How is this even? Approach us, you insignificant little morsel. We would have a word with you.
The Archon clutches at his robes, the tears of which shine with, tears of which shine with dim green flame. Green flame! You were doing it just for fun? I gotcha. You were doing it for fun, but it was still like, maybe we can get something good out of this. And then it didn't. Say what you would, creature.
Whatever the thoughtless rabble may whisper about this moment, don't delude yourself into thinking you are powerful, that you matter, or that someone out there isn't greater still. We came from nothing. Our deeds defined us to the people, and the people knew us as a monster. Did you imagine we were always flames, voices, and secrets? Think on that. You Archon of misguided decisions.
I'll heed your words, Archon.
At least you know the value of good advice. That will take you farther than any beaten trail, and it will bite deeper than any crude weapon of iron.
What's up, Zera? Something about this strikes the voices as funny. He begins to laugh. Short bursts develop into violent, uncontrolled spasms of insane joy. The voices lets his hands fall from his robes, the very flames that defined him as a shapeless being whip into a frenzy, consuming him as they burn. You hear a distant, incoherent chorus of screams in the back of your head, but as quickly as it rises, it fades to silence. The Archon of Secrets is extinguished before your eyes.
No! Not like this! We were so close!
Just got done writing. Congratulations, how'd it go? Is he truly dead? Can I hope that the monster that tormented me will never torment another?
So much knowledge was in that hive of a creature. If Narat weren't such a wanton monster, I'd almost shed a tear for his passing. Just think of how many tomes his minds could have filled. Though I suppose most of it would have been sketches of torture and fornication.
Is that thing finally dead? I'm actually asking because it was difficult enough to tell that he was alive. Yo, what's up, bitches? They all just kind of gave me this symbol and were like, let's go. Yeah, scoot that up a little bit. Is the embodied nightmare just forever going to be there since... Oh, nope, there they go.
Slow down. Let's take a closer look.
Whoa, he had a box behind his chair! A paradise, a pearl, and a Steven Universe. The voices of Nerat, fan of Steven Universe, confirmed. Overall, you had fun. Nice. Now, one of my favorite things was actually just to let a Goliath kill until he grew to monstrous proportions and then see what all happened. I could go rest first. I'm gonna go rest first. Yeah, let's just rest in the camp of the people that we've been, you know, fucking killing for, you know, like, weeks now. And it's fine. See? It's just fine. Yeah, no. There was just something amazing about watching the Goliath grow bigger and bigger until he was fucking terrifying. It's a great time. Scarlet Chorus, full wrath, spurting blood. Bling for 55.8 seconds. That is terrifying. You killed the voices of Nerat, Cacophony. Ah, that was the final straw for them, huh? Back to Iron Hearth. Yes. Like how walking there is actually faster. The highest I got for their rank was Super Ultimate Badass in the arena. I mean, out in the wild, I don't know. I think I managed to get them to get a kill like 4 times. And then I couldn't kill them. And I went ahead and was just like, you know what, fuck it. I'm just going to lead them through the area and see if someone else can get him close to dead. No. No, they weren't. It was a good time. That was probably one of the best moments I had playing that game. Having the unstoppable Goliath.
I see no fresh blood on your armor, but I sense that something has happened. Where once many congregated, there is now an absence. That can mean only one thing. The voices of Nerat is no more. Can this be true?
Before he can go on, Ash's shoulders tremble, and he clutches one arm to repress the shaking. He squeezes his eyes shut, only opening them again once his composure is restored. Are you well, Archon?
Suffice to say, this war has taken its toll on me, as have all the battles of centuries past. I have lost more friends and countrymen than any sane general could be expected to endure.
His grimace falls as he lacks the strength to maintain it.
I take each death personally, you understand. Down to the rank and file of my stone shields, the harm inflicted upon my northern sons and daughters. At times it seems visited upon me as well. But never mind an old man's ruminations. You have a report to make, and I am anxious to hear it.
The voices was a rabid animal, and I put him down like one. Makes an effort to stand tall, but you know it's a facade that cloaks his waning strength. His eyes twitch as he recognizes your scrutiny, as well as you know anything. One fact is clear: Ash is in pain. You know, I destroyed the Archon of Secrets.
At last, the Scarlet Chorus.
There's a Luke, Elias, so it was not hard.
We can properly conduct this war and subjugate the Tears as Kairos intended. That I can see this day, while the voices of Nerat grows cold. He would never forget this indignity.
Let's see. Will someone claim the Archon's vacant title?
In time, yes. No doubt they will have to be as treacherous as he was, though I cannot imagine their power will resemble his. For all his multitudes, the Voices of Narot was a singular being. Nothing like him has ever existed, or likely will again.
How do you plan to do that?
Considering how much you've managed to subdue the disorder of the Tears, finalizing our conquest in Kairos' name should be little more than tidying up pockets of discontent. We could have the entire realm subdued under the laws and customs we hold dear within the next span.
We still have to settle the matter of Kairos' decree. Only one Archon may rule the Tears.
Yes. I thought we would come to this. I had hoped to avoid the confrontation. Your service to my army has been exemplary, and I hate to lose a friend on the eve of victory.
Almost level 30 though. Me and my friends are level 24.
I knew you as Tunon's pupil, but now you are an Archon, and so much more. I would see you continue in your service to Kairos, but as my ally rather than my enemy. Bow in allegiance to me, and Kairos will be appeased. We can govern this lawless land together, and invite the savages into civilized custom.
Wait, can I not just been a knee to him? Can we not simply part ways?
I'm afraid that is impossible. You have grown magnificent in power, and the Overlord demands that we consolidate the authority of the conquest under one rule. Dividing the army only led to mayhem, and the Tears need a single governance if there's to be hope of guiding them from savagery.
The Tears aren't a savages, you think. I haven't come this far to bend the knee.
I was afraid this would be your temperament, and it saddens me. Power should have humbled you, but it has made you vain. What do you propose, then? Will we fight to the death needlessly, or will you reconsider my offer?
There's another way. You can bow to me.
A proposal as insulting as it is laughable. You are an Archon in your infancy, unproven, untested, and unprepared for the trials of leadership.
Submit. I have proven myself the true general, and your army is mine to command.
Yours? By what possible right? By what mad ambition do you challenge my...
The strength behind his words falters, and Ash goes silent. Ooh. His brow creases, and the severity of his expression diminishes as he looks to the soldiers around you. The countrymen he proudly marched into war. He studies them, each in turn nodding as some unspoken truth is confirmed. Ooh, damn! Look at your troops, Ash. You're their father, but I am their commander.
I am not ignorant to the wisdom of your words. They pierce me like a lance through my heart, but there is truth. This conquest has opened old wounds. At times, I have not acted like the leader that my army deserved. I was an accomplished warlord in the earliest days of the Empire. There was no fortress I couldn't breach, no distance I couldn't march. But the years have reduced me. I care too deeply for my legion to see them suffer.
Yeah, this got deep. This got very deep.
I lost nearly everyone for whom I cared, and suffered for those I sought to protect. I would not wish this for anyone. I submit to your authority as Archon and Master of the Disfavored. Where you lead, I go. Where you command, I follow.
A wise choice. The disfavored will see their honor restored under my rule. Should turn from 0 to 100 real quick. You're not wrong. He went from, bitch, you can't handle me, to, ah, shit, you right.
You have proven yourself a truer general than I ever was. I relinquish my hold over these women and men, and place them in your keeping. I ask only that you be good to them. They are far from home, and deserve treatment and leadership befitting their noble blood. I submit to you. As your Archon, I will obey your laws, carry out your orders, and protect whatever ways of life you see fit to impose on the tiers and beyond. You carry a heavy burden now. It is no small task to lead a legion. Their lives and their deaths are yours to bear.
He winces and sniffs back a tear.
At times, the strain was too much to bear, even for the likes of me. Devotion claims a heavy toll, and over the years it wore me down until...
He trails off, focusing on some point in the distance. You're right, Ash.
Fine, fine. Ignore an old man's wandering mind. You are yet young, with the world laid out before you. Your soldiers will look to you for guidance. You must be ready to take on any challenge on their behalf. Lead by example. Lead with the iron fist of the disfavored.
Chill. Our deeds will be known across all of Taratus.
The time has come to bring glory and triumph to this conquest. Go now, and bring order to what remains of the tiers. I will stay behind with the army, training and preparing to carry out your will.
I can hardly believe it. You are the great general now. I will adore Ash to my dying day, but I never expected to see him bend the knee. Beric nods at you with a great respect. I will make the disfavored proud.
Then I can pass on my authority with a lighter heart. Remember, Archon, it isn't enough to slay your foes by the thousands. You must always remember why you fight.
How does it feel? Feels good. Feels like drinking 7 monsters with no break in between. It's great. Hell yeah. 7 monsters. Yep. You got balls. Speaking of monsters, I had one earlier. Which flavor did you have? What color was the can? One of my favorite things about monsters is actually just the cans. Like, something about their design is amazing. I would have a heart attack. I mean, I did too, don't get me wrong, but I just, you know, am still alive to see the day. Got it free from 7-Eleven because I buy so much stuff there. That's awesome. Okay, well, that's 2 down. I just got 2 to go. Yes. Sigil of Killing Blows. Research edicts. There really is. That is actually an option. Okay. I don't feel as though it's very much all that worth it. But sure. All right. Let's get rid of that. Entry, learn this. Okay, accent that causes Tiratus and lightning spells to deal more damage to targets with low health and severe damage to those almost defeated. Ooh. Up to 85 damage based on missing health? Instead of a double fuck yeah, I want that. That actually reduces it too. Ooh. I just got the giant regular flavored one. I see. Only one choice really for our big ones, blue and regular. I gotcha. I've tried a various different flavors of energy drink, and you know, I mean, you know, Monster has some pretty good flavors, but I just try and stay away from them. I can hardly handle them some days. Or actually, most days. They're just so goddamn sweet. Yeah, this looks good to me. Let's update it. Ball lightning really has not proven to be all that great, so we'll switch it to the sigil of killing blows, and I don't know, what else can I put on this? Alright, has the interrupt. That just gives it piercing, which meh. Could reduce its cooldown, which is typically a go-to. Sure, we'll just reduce its cooldown. That only puts it at 200. This will increase its range a little bit too. Actually, what do I still have to do? Okay, travel to Tunon's court in the Bastard City. Well, there we go. Let's travel to Tunon's court in the Bastard City. Let's see what horrendous things await us here. Pineapple punch, I think. Pineapple. I love pineapple. I don't know about you guys, but pineapple is like the gift of the gods. It's a shame that if you eat too much of it, it will quite literally melt your teeth. Because damn is it good.
I got it.
I bet we're gonna have to kill Bleed and Mark. The gift that eats you, exactly. No more proceedings. We'll be okay. You're not a fan of it? Okay. To each their own. This decree is not subject to deliberation. The officers will escort you all out. Yo, what's up? I command these two armies, basically.
Fatebinder, thank you for answering my summons. This could very well be the defining hour of the conquest.
The pleasure is mine, Your Honor.
Your manners do you well. All the same, we are here for justice, not pleasantries. I first want to make it clear why we've assembled today. After the collapse of Vendrian's Well and the start of the Civil War, it became clear to me that there must have been some great fault on the part of the Archons. We come together to root out the source of our troubles, and determine which of the Archons has sowed more chaos during the war.
I can point to the culprit and spare us the discussion. Bloodmulch aims the tip of a crude dagger at your heart. This is the scum who brought down the voices! I hope it isn't your intention to arm yourself before a court of peaceful legal representations, Commander. Unless to offer amusement as Bleed and Mark flays you for your delight. For our delight. Callio offers an encouraging smile. He squints at Callio and slowly returns his weapon to its sheath. Tunon turns to aim what you can only assume is a stern look. He refocuses back onto you with cool stoicism.
Much has happened since I dispatched you on that mission. You killed the voices of Nerat, taking the responsibility of an Archon's execution. Explain yourself.
I acted on the Overlord's admonition that only one Archon would rule the Tears. No one epitomized enlightening rule like the voices of Nerat. Enlightened rule, okay. Bloodmulch blinks at you, then glances up to Tunon. Not that I disparage the Archon of Justice.
And you would be that self-appointed ruler. This court wonders what blood sacrifices your ambition will demand of you next. The court has a serious problem to address. Your conduct throughout this campaign has come into question, and you will answer for your actions.
Where's Blee and Mark? Oh, they just disappeared, that's fine.
You have made quite a name for yourself, Fatebinder. Stories of your deeds have spread through the Tears, and all of them have reached this court. Some actions have consequences. We will see what your actions have wrought. The court has its own charges to present, and invites you to answer for yourself.
Am I on trial, your honor?
Yes, and I would ready yourself to form a defense, because your testimony could augur your doom. The trial begins now. I recommend that you treat these moments with deserving gravity, as they might be your last. Don't attempt to lie or evade answers. I will judge you in the objective eyes of our Overlord. Is that understood?
Yes, your honor.
At least your civility remains intact.
Yeah, sure, yeah.
You are on trial for transgressing on the Overlord's authority, breaking the laws of the Empire, bringing mayhem to an otherwise orderly conquest, and meddling in concerns that fell beyond your station. Our directive to bring Kairos' peace to the Tears has suffered, and you will answer for the part you played.
If you don't mind, Adjudicator, we are on familiar terms with the Fatebinder here. Should any inconsistencies require our input, we will add our voices as testimony. She nods to Regalis and then turns to you with an unreadable expression.
The court has inquiries into your conduct.
It's transcending a word, I think.
I first call your travel companions to speak on your behalf as witnesses to your character or accomplices to your crimes. Who will speak on behalf of the Fatebinder? Siren, Archon of Song. Give us your full report.
Don't fuck me up, Siren.
Of course, Your Honor. Your respect for a fellow Archon is duly noted. I thank you for asking me to add my input in this very delicate matter. I will endeavor to speak honestly and stick to the heart of the matter.
She makes a small curtsy and looks over at you.
My time with the Fatebinder has been eventful, but nothing I've seen has given me cause to praise or condemn his actions. Like any person, he does good and evil in equal measure, and it all seems to balance itself out in the end.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf? The Ironclad Commander will step forward, if indeed he has the strength to walk.
You want me to speak, Adjudicator?
Barrick's armor makes a distinct rattling around the echoes in the court as he steps forward.
I've been treated with fairness and respect. As fine as anything the Legion ever gave me. The Fatebinder trusts my counsel. I've never seen a finer, more upstanding member of the court.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf? Let the aged chronicler step forward.
If it may please the court, I will speak true. I have had the honor and privilege of shadowing the Archon. A dream come true for someone so eager to witness history in the unfolding. I can say, with conviction, I am following greatness.
Yeah, fuck this guy. And if required, I could produce my travel logs to back my claims. I have noted the good with the bad, and I think you'll find the Archon has been a force of order and balance. Exactly what you should want from a Fatebinder.
Will anyone else speak on the Fatebinder's behalf?
Evidently not. The time has come for the Fatebinder to offer his testimony. You resolved Kairos' edict of storms with a legal contrivance. What's more, you spared Star Wars' ruling bloodline, circumventing the edict's very purpose. Did you think the Overlord's fury was a riddle for you to unravel? Kairos didn't intend for the edict to last forever. No, indeed. But there were conditions to be met, and you cheated them. You subverted the Overlord's will to suit your design. That cannot be tolerated. You entered the Old Walls, a clear violation of Kairos' law. How did you answer for this perversion of justice? Do you think yourself above the law? The transgression was necessary to complete my tasks. The law stood in the path of justice. The circumstances you describe have no precedent, but I trust your reasoning. Agents of my court are not immune to the law, but your position was an impossible one. At the city of Halfgate, you killed the garrison corpsmen who lawfully claimed it. A dozen of Kairos' servants bloodied the streets in your wake. Hold on, I'm trying to remember this circumstance. What? Oh, yeah. They attacked me and hence violated Kairos' peace. I defended myself appropriately. The Adjudicator nods. I suspected as much. A pity you could not do so without eradicating Kairos' presence in the town.
I have one final question, Fatebinder. You were brought to this campaign to adjudicate the disagreements between the two armies. After your arrival, matters quickly escalated into a civil war. Did you knowingly join the conquest of the Tears to sow discord in your wake, or were you merely a victim of circumstance?
I recognized the Archon's corruption from the start. It was only a matter of time before they turned on each other, and I was prepared for that eventuality. Was I? Oh no. 5. You credit me with starting a civil war? Adjudicator, I'm flattered.
If I was doing a Scarlet chorus playthrough, I would absolutely have chosen that.
I joined this conquest for the glory of Kairos, but I'm less certain that the Archons did for the same reason.
It's possible, even likely, that the Archons traveled south with their own agendas. I make no secret of the fact that the more worthy of the two would have inherited the Tears to rule as their domain under Kairos, and ambition got the better of them both. They were expected to conduct themselves in a professional manner, as were you.
Fatebinder Rogalis, tuned on Favor 3. Nice. Conduct aside, the fact that the Archon's corruption is an assumed fact speaks to the success of this Fatebinder's mission. I don't know about the rest of you. He glances toward the other Fatebinders, but I find that mildly encouraging.
I am finished with my line of questioning. Have you any closing remarks for the court?
Let's see. I just want to say that I don't recognize this court's authority to judge me. Thank you. Such a fucking, like, Karen answer. Like, that's a privileged white person answer. Like, something I would expect from a mom of 6. You don't have the right to judge me. I'm better than that. It's like, shut the fuck up. Though I have ever strived to bring peace and order to this shattered region, I recognize that our work is an uphill battle, and well worth the struggle.
The way you frame it, the conquest sounds like a matter of true personal investment. Most curious.
My sister, pretty though, she can judge me anytime she like.
After weighing the charges, this court finds you innocent.
Oh, nice.
Against all reason or expectation, I find you innocent. Your testimony was sufficient to justify your deeds, your self-appointed authority, and your undermining of Kairos' law. I can hardly believe it myself.
Toma raises a trembling hand to his mask. Adjudicator, are you unwell? Regalis takes a cautious step. Leave him. I want to see how this plays out. Kaliel leans forward with interest.
Archon, your presentation in the court today has shaken many of my core beliefs. Things I held sacred under Kairos' law are now uncertain.
He looks at his gavel with a sense of bewilderment.
I once thought that Kairos was the sole overlord. The notion of rising to her echelon of power and influence wasn't a concept that existed for me. For anyone. You have proven her wrong. What's more, you understand justice and law better than she ever did. Better than even...
Upon his mask, the corners of his eyes crinkle as if in agony.
I am willing to accept you as my new sovereign, if you'll have me.
Aww. Another vassal added to my collection. Marvelous. Aw, 4. Serve me as you serve Kairos. I ask nothing more.
My loyalty is beyond question. I will do anything for you. My gavel and my justice are yours. I will execute your laws as you draft them. Show mercy as you see fit, and bring to ruin all who would reject you.
Duke White has take the night off, risen to 25 minutes. What? What? White has taken the night off, risen to 5M? I don't know what you're talking about. What? Channel points? Oh. No, I thought it was always 5 million. Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was always 5 million. You know, because I was like, man, if someone's here for that long, they deserve to be like, yo, take a break. Silently, Bleeding Mark seeps from the shadows. He glides forward, palming 2 black-bladed daggers as his eyes dart between you and Tunon.
Adjudicator, kid.
You shut the fuck up with that voice. He greets the both of you with a curt nod before stating his claim.
Allow this blade to cut to the point. I have an objection, or two.
He twirls both daggers, fingers moving deftly in and out of shadow, the movement nearly hypnotic and wholly blurred, and all the while his brightly burning eyes bore into you. So my objection is this. What the hell was with that final episode of Game of Thrones? The final season even, like, it was terrible. My objection is this. We need to ban that show. We could not have that show on TV anymore. I don't want it. After that final season, it needs to be gone. That is my objection. This whole movie is terrible. Well, show. Yeah. Well, no, okay. So, I think Game of Thrones was good up until season 4. After season 4, the writing quality started going downhill. And I actually stopped watching at season 5. But from what I caught of some of the other episodes after season 4, writing quality was definitely not of their focus. At least that's my opinion. But, you know, the ending is kind of one of the biggest parts of a story. And when you fuck that up, it ruins everything else. Like, I don't know anybody who is... I don't know anyone that has been like, well, I decided to watch Game of Thrones again. I haven't seen anyone do that. And I do not blame them. Buddy, old pal of mine, what's the problem? Gain favor with blame. Gain favor and wrath. Slowly, he swivels his head to the side, staring at you with a single-minded intensity. His muscles coil tightly. He is a black adder poisoning to strike. Ooh, that is a good written description. That's a good written description right there. But then he sucks in a sharp breath, and the tension slithers from his body like a shadow, retreating from the light.
Don't distract me while I'm on the job, kid. Look, it's not like I have a grudge against you. I just can't let you live on Kairos' orders. I'm sure you understand.
I can tell you've been waiting for this. And she told you this personally, did she?
Kairos has given me free reign of action to protect the Overlord's interests. The semantics are of little concern to her, though I admit they will greatly affect you.
It would appear the court headsman is determined to make his stand. Under normal circumstances, I would curb this behavior with a swift execution. However, we have long since abandoned normalcy.
God damn it, Tunon, this isn't the time!
There will be a trial by combat then. Bledenmark's claim against your own. Justice will win out, and the will of the true Overlord will be evident for the living to witness. You may begin when ready, Archon.
I guess I've no choice then. Without further word or warning, the Archon of Shadows dissipates into darkness. The lights in the room flicker and dim as he surges forward in attack.
Your trial begins anew, Archon. Prepare to defend your title, your innocence, and your very life.
You two need to get back, and you two need to
destroy them!
Fuck this guy up.
Has I hit anything?
The trick is to keep twisting till you hear the snap.
Shit. Immune to taunted? Damn you. How dare you be immune to one of my abilities? Let's try and bleed him. I doubt it'll work, but... Okay. Then we'll do this.
Hurts when I hit, doesn't it?
Oh yeah, let's do the Iron Storm. We never do that. Why'd you run over here? What was the point of this?
Unstoppable!
He's over there, guys. Ah, he spawned a swarm of shadows. I almost said locust, and I was like, hold on. Let's try to remember what's going on. Just make sure to kill that one, please. Man, Bleeding Mark is a bitch. I'm sure this would be different if it was one-on-one, but it's absolutely not.
On your knees, worm!
Look out, the ball's approaching. It missed. Or actually, no. Lantry. They're close together. You get rid of them. Ooh, we sundered him. Nice.
I'll take it.
Cool. Done. And my weapon's got an ability. Your weapon's got an ability as well, right?
I'll hit you twice as hard next time!
That is cool. Oh wait, actually, you know what? Get an earth thing around me. Magic missile! Nothing but magic missile!
As you command.
Lightning bolts!
Can I hit anything?
It missed! Shit!
I'm afraid not.
Nice one.
Did he say? He said, "Nice one, kid." Oh, cool. Golden, glowering eyes, wide with surprise. The Archon tumbles to the ground, coughing blood as dark as the shadows that billow the ebb around him. He clutches at his shattered ribs and grins.
Look at you. The surprise of a lifetime.
This is how Game of Thrones should have ended, in my opinion.
He gasps, drowning as his lungs fill with blood. The light in his eyes dims as his pupils seep blackness, expanding to fill the whole of his eyes. A look of meaning passes between you, his fingers digging into the ground.
Don't die too easily. Won't look good for me.
That was a good pun right there, Kiwi.
This brightness is blinding.
I like how he threw his weapon over there.
If you'll join me upstairs, I will pledge fealty to you in the lawful manner.
And give you a blowy. But only if you will have me. And yes, the mask stays on.
On it.
Yo, what's up? Try and keep Ash on a short leash. I think the old man likes knowing his constraints, and no one sets limitations more efficiently than Kairos, but I think he'll manage. I have my doubts that the Voices of Nerat is dead, and that just seems like something he would have planned for a long time ago. You sure you got the right Archon? Kalia shrugs. What can I do for you? How do you think the court will fare without Bleeding Mark? The court ought to learn the lesson that the Empire already knows. Everyone is replaceable. As long as we keep that in mind, I'm not so worried about the court. Her lips curl in a knowing smile. Craftsmanship 100. Special hole for BJ and Mask. You wrote that you could illuminate the darker corners of Terratus. She glances at you, your cater. In a private message, yes. There are things I won't discuss within the hearing of outside ears. Anything you can say to me, they can hear. I'm pretty sure I was clear on my requirements, Murdoch. I need to speak to the Fatebinder, privately. I suppose not every conversation can be recorded. The sage shuffles away. Sarah rolls her eyes, as if I had any interest at all in this gossip. Pardon me while I find an actual conversation to engage in. Perhaps on the inadequacies of the livery in which the adjudicator garbs his puffed-up jesters. She stalks away. The hulking man shrugs. As you wish. He takes up a position outside of hearing range, standing just shy of at attention. There we go. Blah blah blah. A slight smile dimples her left cheek. I confess to no small amount of curiosity. I peek into my share of shadows, and sometimes I scourge up a secret. What excites your interest? I don't care about any of this. Bye.
Yes.
Yo, maybe in a private playthrough I would care, but I don't right now. I'm gonna go get a blowy from Tunon. So, you know, bye!
Archon. Change has come to the Tears, and in time it will reach the Empire itself. You are the agent of that change, and even I could not have predicted what impossible heights you would reach.
I mean, my plan wasn't even to, you know, like, rebel against Kairos. It just kind of happened.
The time has come to take up the gavel and usher in a new age of structure and law to the Tears.
Oh, okay. Just spawn in a bunch of people, why don't you?
You will henceforth define justice for the rest of us. I will follow your lead and endeavor to follow your design.
That's why you gave me a bunch of rings. Your loyalty and confidence are appreciated.
As the ruling Archon of the Tears, I submit to your authority. And thank you for bringing order out of chaos.
Come on, take a knee. That's not a knee. That... he took a knee.
Go
yeah!
and represent the strength of law. Be the example the Tears require, the force that keeps them together, and the hope for their future under one rule. Let your justice know no mercy but that which you impose. Civilization itself will bend according to your design. Never forget this.
Achievement unlocked. Final Judgment. Hooray.
I am grateful to stand in your loyal service,
And then
Archon.
just disappear the
But there is a
masses.
shadow over these proceedings.
John hesitates as he regards you, suddenly fearful.
Though you have proven yourself greater than the other Archons, Kairos is not satisfied. She sends a legion of expert soldiers marching on the Tears as we speak, their war songs calling for your death.
Why have I unified the Tears in Kairos' name? I do not wish war with the Overlord.
Do you think Kairos cares about your fealty? You are a threat, a challenge to the Overlord's unique capacity. Coexistence will require supplication to the Overlord. If you can convince Kairos that your loyalty outweighs your arcane gifts, then perhaps further bloodshed could be avoided. I think the Overlord will entertain peace only to lull you into a sense of security, so that you may be destroyed at a later time, in a more amusing way. But recent events have shown me that I know less of the Overlord's will than I once thought.
Then perhaps striking first is the best option. An edict proclaimed on the Northern Empire should send the needed message.
Yes. Destruction on that scale might serve your purpose. The North will tremble under your forceful hand. Return to the mountain spire and see your will given shape and consequence. Show Kairos the face of true power.
Yeah, okay, well, we'll do it then. We'll fuck him up. If anything, because, you know, I don't think Murdoch is the wisest of people, and, you know, is like, oh, peace and, or sorry, love and the peace. Trigun was such a good anime until it was revealed that they were fucking plant people. That was when it got weird. Okay, I go over here first. 2 days, because they're working on an edict for me, and that I think that should be ready by the time I get over there. Pretty sure. What was a good anime? Trigun. It was a good anime until they were like, oh, these two characters are fungus people. It's like, what?
Give me the progress.
The Malediction Edict is now accessible. I don't know. Look into, like, research or something. We will hit them with malediction. Never got that far watching on Adult Swim. You're honestly, like, you don't really need to watch past, like, or, I mean, you know, you should watch the entire thing, because it is a good anime. Just, I think I only ever watched up to episode, or sorry, I only really cared up until, like, episode 12, maybe, and then I was like, meh.
I got it.
The waves of energy radiating from the spire draw you forward, pressing your body and mind to its eager embrace. At the center of this tide, the resonator stands ready to broadcast your voice, echoing your commandments to the farthest reaches of the tiers and beyond. From here, the highest point of all the peninsula, you could, with the sum total of your effort, project your will far north, past the edge of the tiers, and proclaim your edict as far as the lands of the Northern Empire. We could also just send news to them, saying that, you know, all is well. We did what they wanted. This probably amounts to a declaration of war against the Overlord. Ready? Opportunity. I can feel it like a coaxing breeze. Not since Graven Ash stood against Kairos has anyone made such a dent in the Overlord's defenses. It has been an honor serving at your side. Come what may. I am ready to face it. Beric nods to you. This is new territory for us all. You're the first to strike a blow directly at the Overlord. Make sure it counts. Hope you don't mind if I stand back and take notes. By all means, continue. You've done great things to get here. Just imagine what you could do if you continued on this vein. Show Kairos what we do to tyrants. I'm ready to stand at your side and see it through. If I don't show Kairos my ability to cast the edict is more than a one-time thing, the attacks will never stop. Another edict to plague us. Murdoch, the world has seen enough of these horrors visited upon its people, but I agree that nothing less will tip the scales. Have at it then. He nods to the resonator at the center of the spire. The spire awaits your command. Malediction. The Edict of Malediction will twist the strands of fate, causing misfortune and bad luck to plague your enemies. Plus 15 skill to us, plus 10% hit precision, plus 10% graze precision, while they suffer all negatives. Sure, I guess we'll give them bad luck. That... I don't think they ever did the ending. I don't know. They probably did. I don't know. Yeah, let's give them bad luck. Or can I just close it? Oh, cool. Okay. Well then. Malediction! It's time for some bad luck. I was expecting more conversation options past just, hey guys, this might be a declaration of war. Take that.
The Tears have been conquered, unified at last under a single banner. Your edict brings devastation and ruin to the Northern Empire. Some believe the edict to be Kairos' work. Others hope, or fear, that this edict comes from a new voice. Kairos' forces withdraw from their march upon the Tears, as they are sent into disarray by your edict. You have brought order to the Tears, uniting the realms with the disfavored Legion, enforcing your will.
Dead.
The Overlord's conquest of the known world has come to a halt, and the whisper of a challenger to Kairos' power slowly spreads throughout the land.
Yeah, Kiwi, I would probably just kind of back out of that one. Be like, I don't want to be a part of this. Never made any arguments, just complained about me. I asked him what he actually said, and he just said, I thought you were confusing, and said stuff I said before. I mean, you know, if you're confusing, then ask questions to clarify, figure things out. God. By casting the Edict of Malediction on the northern capital, you consign the Overlord city to an invisible plague of misfortune and calamity. The foundations of once proud buildings fracture under some unseen pressure, and whole districts empty as the city's infrastructure crumbles. Laborers brought in to repair the damage find their work undone hours or even minutes later. Citizens leave the city a ghost town, and whisper among themselves how Kairos could allow such a curse to infect their homeland. The chaos ensued in the Northern Kingdom. The armies marching on the Tears received an unprecedented order. The armies were to fall back to the capital and ensure the safety of its people from the edict. For the first time in Kairos' great conquest, the armies retreated. Soon questions would be asked in a hushed breath across the lands about what new and terrible power had emerged that could force the hand of the Overlord. You fulfilled Kairos' decree, and all the Tears is now ruled by a single Archon. Your former rivals have either submitted to you or perished, bringing the civil war to a close. The Scarlet Chorus may have been mighty in numbers, but that didn't stop you from thoroughly scattering them. Cutting off the Serpent's head and sending each of the gangs howling back to the chaos they sowed. Or sowed, I don't know. How the remnants of the Horde occupy themselves without a war to fight becomes a topic for nightmares. Just grab some reefer and bake with him for a while. That'll save the friendship. Watching Chowder while high, that is an adventure. Chowder is a funny show, but it's so much more funny when you are under some form of influence. You know, not that I would know. Yeah, that's probably the best way to go about that, Kiwi. It was thought the disfavored would never rally under another general, but by enlisting Graven Ash to your cause, you managed to the next best thing. Controlling the Archon to harness the strength of the Northern Empire, you organized their old-fashioned regiments with a new chain of command, placing yourself at its highest authority. The Legion's victories spread beyond count, and your soldiers train hard, preparing for the retaliation to come. Under your guidance, those who resisted the conquest and sowed discontent are vanquished, their rebellion brought to a decisive end. Any lingering question of who is the true ruler of the Tears is answered by your impact on the reconstructed nation. Word of your success spreads beyond the Tears as well. Even the most distant corners of the Empire whisper of the Fatebinder who rose to become an Archon, and an Archon whose intervention shattered the conquest, making way for a new future in the devastated nation. Uniting the Tears under the banner of the disfavored was never your directive, and yet you performed it admirably, consolidating the Overlord's forces under your rule and grooming the Tears for their place in a new order. The same people who once hurled curses across a siege soon learned to think of themselves as part of a greater whole extending beyond their modest borders. With the Edict of Stone dispelled, the earth around the Stone Sea finally settles, leading everyone to believe the realm of Azure will return to its former glory, but the ritual used to end the edict blighted the land to such a degree that nothing will grow, no matter how hard everyone tries. With determination, some are able to start small seedlings, but nothing ever comes of it. Oh, that's sad. Cottage cheese. In memory of Can, as a great force of destruction remains as a monument of inert rock, most agree that the world is better off without the Archon of Stone, as the people of Azure begin to slowly reclaim the land that was once torn asunder by his power. As the strongest and oldest of their kind, the death of the Stonestalkers is a blow to Beastman culture. Their demise also brings centuries of oral traditions to an abrupt end. The local tribes never recover from the terrible loss. Good. With Can's essence preserved and the lands of Azure permanently blighted, the Earthshakers return to the disfavored. While their reputation isn't what it used to be, their success in dealing such a decisive blow to the Scarlet Chorus by removing their main source of food has earned back the respect of the Legion. The Earthshakers are accepted back into the ranks of the disfavored, once again becoming part of the army that helps subdue the Tears. With the Unbroken all but destroyed, the former citizens of Stalwart threatened to slide into lawlessness. Kairos' forces stationed at Sentinel Stand managed to quell the worst of the uprisings, but peace under the nation's new leadership is resisted at every turn. Amelia returns to Graven Ash's fort at Iron Hearth with her baby, which she promptly body slams into the ground as though it were a football. The former heir of Stalwart. Her presence brings unease to the disfavored, who don't know what to make of a circumstantial traitor. How she navigates the future you imposed on Taratis will be her decision. Though it takes time to recover from the devastation of the Edict of Storms, the Bladegrave begins its slow march toward healing. The realm of Stalwart may never resemble its former glory, but what glory did it have in the first place? But the land is not so blasted that something new and better can't be built to top the bones of the past. The Regent bloodline has ended. With it, new traditions and legacies spring to life. Your travels never took you to the Burning Library, and this leaves the Edict of Fire undisturbed, consigned consigning the Vellum Citadel to a future engulfed by perpetual flame. With their arcane knowledge beyond reach, the School of Ink and Quill falls into steep decline, your name becoming a curse to their embittered ranks. What? What did I do? I did nothing! I literally was just never ended up going there. Like, I would totally go there and end that edict if I could. This is bullshit. By leaving Lethian's Crossing under disfavored command, you ensured the city's cooperation and productivity during the remainder of the conquest. The crafting of superior weapons comes to be the touchstone by which Lethian's Crossing is remembered. After the war, people speak of it as the Forge Days, when the city was a lump of unformed metal waiting to be shaped. By returning to the Magebane helm of Lethian's Crossing, you ensured the Bane would not be able to get into the city. For the time being, the threat of a Bane incursion is dispelled. The settlers are grateful to go about their lives unburdened by this peril, though knowing how close they came to annihilation haunts them. They hope that the security you provided endures. It would literally take like one natural disaster to completely fuck this settlement. Like, if that helmet gets like knocked even slightly loose, it is just over for them. But the also, like, because the second time we saw that they had put up like a sort of barrier to protect it. Like, who put that up, and you know, like, what happens? Can just anyone take it down, or is it one of those things where, like, only a certain person can take it down? If so, like, what if that person dies? Like, what happens? I don't know, questions. With the disfavored left in control of Lethian's Crossing, the production of iron remains where it belongs, safe in northern hands. The Chorus and the Tearsmen alike fight with inferior bronze, and over time, the disadvantage grows to a crippling vulnerability. By enacting an edict on Vindrian's Well, you announced your power to the world and showed Kairos' forces that what you were capable of. When you defeated their leader and scattered the army before you, it sent the message to Kairos. A new Archon is born. While the edict dissipated, its effects will always be felt as the first true threat to Kairos' rule. Graven Ash continues to lead to disfavored, this time bowing to your superior command. At first, the old general balks at your instructions, but in time he grows to trust your judgment without question. Working together, you bring much needed order to the lawless tiers. God, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. Killing the voices of Nerat spreads the joy of bloody vengeance across the continent. Celebrated as the death of history's greatest parasite, the occasion is marked by all who suffered under the oppression of the Scarlet Chorus. Even in victory, one thought nags you. Though you witnessed his death, you can't help but wonder if the voices of Nerat is done with you. Ooh. Tune on the adjudic... I love this picture. It looks like a meme picture. Like, look at that mask. Like, isolate isolate just the mask. It's funny. It's like, Like, that's an emotion is what that is. Yo, Tune on, do you want to go to the movies today? Is that a no? Okay. I'll just take that as a no then. It looks like he's ready to touch boob. Get over here. Let me touch boob. No! You can't touch boob. Let me touch your boob. Nah. Like, holy shit. I just love that. I just love it. Okay. Tune on the Adjudicator continues to dispense justice from his seat in the Bastard City. He follows the laws you craft to the letter, advising on any of the meticulous changes you lack the time or the patience to draft. Without his aid, the task of keeping order in the tiers would be nigh impossible. The death of Bleed and Mark deprive the world of a most capable murderer. One less bedtime story to scare children is no significant loss, though you can't help but glance at the dark corners of every room and feel as if something is watching you. William Mark will always cast a long shadow on your life. Of course he will. Not content to enjoy the fruits of victory, Barrick positions himself among the rank and file of your supporters, organizing troops around their strengths and making sure each pull their weight. His armor clings to him as doggedly as ever, though he wears it with a straighter back and a lighter step than he did before. A team of loyal camp followers polish his plates to a respectable sheen each morning, and the smell that escapes his visor has noticeably improved. Medals of valor decorate his breastplate, and adoring supporters drape garlands of flowers about his pauldrons. Life is good for this towering soldier. Life is good for me! Verse finds herself adrift in a relative peace that follows your conquest. She returns to the field and seeks out young women from rural communities. Imparting her fighting skills to only the most passionate. Okay, thank goodness. I was wondering why she was doing that. Over the course of many apprentices, she follows the voices of Nereid's example and forms a personal army, the Callous Sisterhood. Verse proves to be a strict teacher, and you hire her services often, confident that she'll take any assignment where there's blood to be spilled. Lantry keeps a close watch over you, scribbling his accounts of your deeds and accomplishments. In the tireless quest to fill the chronicle with history and knowledge, he follows you even into his twilight years, and together you learn much about the world. You pretend not to notice Lantry's waning strength, though you find yourself pausing mid-sentence to let his writing catch up. He recognizes your generous ruse and appreciates it in silence. Aww. That's sweet. Disillusioned by your leadership, Ed sets off alone to revive the devastated school of Tidecasters. The work takes a hard toll on as Eb struggles to explain her talents to one restless apprentice after another. Finally, she gives up in a fit of frustration, snapping her staff over her knee and making for the waterways of her people. To the best of your knowledge, she resides there still, avoided by the locals as a dangerous recluse. With no desire to remain in the company of humans, Kills and Shadows returns to the wilderness and seeks out her own kind. She discovers a haggard community of beastmen who abandoned the realm of Haven and Azure, only to be enslaved by Kairos' forces. Out of this rabble of defectors, she forges a tribe, their nomadic ways respecting no established border of law. They raid villages and caravans when possible, glutting on the spoils and boasting of their severed ties with the human world. Though a large bounty follows in the tribe's wake, no human can survive the hunt for its leaders. I could! I fucking could! Siren grows quiet over time, speaking little and forgoing her songs as she distances herself from your military. One day, she simply walks out of camp and makes for the wilderness of the Tears. Rumors reach your ear that Siren has occupied and abandoned an abandoned mountainside temple, her vow of silence drawing a small group of respectful followers. You leave her in peace. Though you once professed loyalty to Kairos, popular belief holds that the world cannot support two overlords, and you now represent a threat to the established order. This leaves your future in question. With but one certainty, when Kairos retaliates, you will be ready. From your perch atop the ancient spire, you can see hints of the Northern Empire just beyond the mountains. At your command, horns shout a triumphant cry across the valley, heralding the end of one long campaign and the beginning of another. Oh god, that was so much reading. My jaw! Look at them credits, man. Oh man, that guy. I recognize that guy. He was. And that guy. Yeah, no, he was very important. Oh man, fuck that. Those were some long credits, guys. I hope you gave some really good respect to the creators of this game. because they did an amazing job. Yeah, no, they, that's that classic, like, you know, Western RPG style of ending where they just kind of explain everything that happened. It's pretty normal, for Western RPGs to do that. What the fuck? Let me see. Let me go ahead and end the stream, and I will toss out a few options for you guys to vote on, later tonight as to, what we should play next. Also, I saw that there's some news about, when it comes to Baldur's Gate 3, something to do with June 5th or 6th, I believe. And if they're doing what they did with Divinity 2, where they release it early, I'm going to be snatching that shit up, and I'm going to play it until I am up to the current point that they have done, because I want that shit. I want that shit, brother. So yeah, if they do that, just know that whatever I'm playing at the time might get interrupted. So you know, just a heads up. But until then, let me go ahead and see. Arcadum's doing some D&D. Tolo's doing Dread X Collection. Let's do Russ. Let's raid Russ money. He's doing Fallout Brotherhood, which is probably the worst Fallout game of all time. It'll be fun. So yeah, thank you guys so much for stopping by and watching. It was nice having y'all. I will, of course, not be streaming this weekend, because I take weekends off, but I will be back on Monday. Monday I start up school again, so, you know, I'm gonna be kind of getting used to the schedule and seeing how things change, but we'll figure it out. So, you all stay safe. Remember, do not text and drive. Do not drink and drive. 10 2 people, 10 and 2, and happy days and sunshine. Hey, if you are heading to bed, pleasant dreams and all that. I hope to see you guys later. Have a wonderful night. Bye-bye.